Are we good? Are we live? Are we going? Hello there. Welcome to our second stream of the week. And it's still not Saturday. Today's stream is kind of a charity stream. YouTube don't actually let me do a charity stream till we're at 10k subs. So I guess technically speaking, it is more of an awareness stream than a charity stream. But we're not late today. We had some technical difficulties on Wednesday. That's not happening today, and I made sure of that by going live 5 minutes early. But as you've seen by the title, we'll be building a Lego Jedi Temple, and yes, I am keeping the nose on for the entire stream, or at least until it falls off or it annoys me enough that I pull it off. But it looks like we're live on both YouTube and Twitch. Hello there to everyone filling in. I'll let chat fill in before we start with what we're looking at, but there are some new leaks today. No Star Wars leaks because, well, they only dropped Wednesday. No, they dropped Saturday. I don't think we got anything too new on Wednesday, but there's got to be so many leaks in the works. We're going to have to be going live twice a week just to catch up on all of these as we approach May. But before we take a look at, all right, it's getting towards 7. Let's get a little bit ahead here. We're probably going to speak about this for quite some time. We've got some Lord of the Rings Shire. A full look at the box. Look at that. 1 minute ago. Something about these live streams. I've had this up for probably about half an hour. Let's give it a refresh. Yeah, 29 minutes. There you go. It's been up for 29 minutes. So this is still pretty much hot off the press. And for those of you that don't know, in April, I think it's rumored to drop. It's not an April 1st release, which makes sense. Any April 1st release from Lego is usually quite a jokey release. It's usually a giant minion or something like that that doesn't actually come to be released. However, this is going, I think the designers for this set are going around to Lego stores. I can't take myself seriously with this nose on. The designers of this are going around to Lego stores April 2nd. So we can assume it will be out by the 2nd of April, likely to come out April 2nd. And it does look pretty cool. We've already seen images of this. I did a little short about it when they did drop. And the back of the box doesn't actually seem to give us too much more information. There's a few little features of the interior, which is nice. We're getting an interior at all. It is an open back, and it does seem there's a little play feature. I don't know if we're swapping out the flames for different... I guess it's when Frodo tries to throw the ring in the fire, and that doesn't turn out too well. But what really interested me was the Gandalf mini. Oh no, no, it is Gandalf. I thought I made a massive mistake then. It is Gandalf. The Gandalf minifigure. You can see in this top image at the top of your screen, we've got a 2x2 slope. And I'm a bit confused. I'm not sure whether this is a 2x2 slope or if this is the leg piece, because in the bottom image, the dress piece the Gandalf here is using does seem to be a bit warped. Now, Lego box arts aren't perfect, and there's so many different problems. You know, if you're a fan of Lego Star Wars, seems like the chat isn't working on mine. I have to keep an eye on that. But it's box arts aren't always too great. Hello there, Kelly. Can't wait to see the temple. It's gonna look really, really good. Double door. Yeah, it's looking double door. It's like a double-decker couch. It's looking odd. I do wonder if this is a brand new element that's a bit more rounded off and Gandalf here is just sunk in. But I also think this is just a printed or more likely a sticker on a 2x2 slope element. All right. So this isn't the only leak. Here we go. The other one that we saw is the gift with purchase. It makes sense they'll do a gift with purchase. I don't think we've had a Lord of the Rings gift with... No, we have. The last one was the... Oh, I forget the name. The dragon that came with Barad-dûr. I forget the Nazgul, is it? And I can't remember if we got one with Rivendell. But we got Smeagol and Deagle. 18 plus set just because it's coming alongside with the Shire. Free with the Shire. 181 pieces. So we could get something similar to this for May 4th. This is 9 pieces shorter than the build we're getting with 3 minifigures. You know, we've got the tree in there. If you, instead of having the water being a bit taller than it is here, what we could do is have a little balcony here. 3 Force Ghost minifigures on it. I'm starting to see it, but I have to say, after Saturday's stream, I believe it was, when we started talking about when we started, there we go, we got chat back. Hello there, welcome to the charity stream. You made it. Yes, it was the Nazgul. Cheers, Kelly. On Saturday we were talking about the May 4th promo and how originally, I do believe, we got a few subs to welcome as well in just a second, but originally I think the Death Star was meant to be May and the Slave One was meant to be coming out later this year. So I wonder if the promo's anything to do with the Death Star, or if they've switched it up and gone with the Slave One. That might be an interesting take. Anyway, we're not here for Lord of the Rings. We're all mostly Star Wars fans anyway, which I must say, massive overlap, Star Wars fans and Lord of the Rings. We're here to build a Jedi Temple. We can waste no more time. It's 7 o'clock. Let's get started. Before we do, actually, I would like to show off my little mini builders series, Mos Eisley Cantina, because I am still trying to work on a bigger mini builder series Tatooine. If I ever go to a Lego convention and bring something, it will probably be this mini builder series Tatooine. What I'm trying to do is build a bunch of different buildings in this small size, but then once you open them up, you can expand them into basically like the Cantina did. They can really be packed with so much detail. You don't need to get a modular like City, but we will be breaking this down for today's stream because we are going to build, I'll be honest with you, I don't really know how we're going to go about this, but we will build probably the best Lego Jedi Temple that we've ever seen. What I am planning on doing is taking some notes from this here Tenwu Temple. Wednesday, we did a bonus little stream and built a bunch of the 4+ sets. I think most of you were probably here for that. And a while ago, I can't remember how long ago, there's actually something really fun with this build. But we built this mini builder series Cantina, which is a shelf space saver compared to the massive Master Builders one. And the roof also stores a bunch of extra seats so that, you know, when you got it on your shelf, it can be a nice cube. Then when you're playing with it, you've got even some extra tables and chairs that you can set up next to the bar. We had a lot of fun building this. It's going to be no more. I would love to bring something like this to the Jedi Temple and have little bits fold out. And I'm going to try to include every single Star Wars era in this Jedi Temple because we've got figures, as you saw Wednesday, from the High Republic. We've got figures, let's see if I can remember where they are. We've got Jedi and other figures from the Old Republic. I think you've probably all seen my Kenobis, my Anakins. I tell you what, I don't have a Hux Armitage figure, so I think that could be cool to get to create some of the original Episode 9 where we see Coruscant pop up, which could have been really, really cool to see in the movie. But then they took it a different way, and I think it went decently. But we've got so much we can include. What am I going to do with the dark red part? Well, this is the problem, because the Cantina doesn't include any dark red. We've got brown, so I may be taking some parts from behind me, and this might not be as much an alternate build as it is a modification. But hopefully we can get something working. I haven't realised how much my nose runs in this red nose, so I'm going to have to go get some tissues. But for the red nose, we'll probably be using some of our own parts from the bins behind. And if we do need too many, I will definitely change the title into a modification compared to an alternate build. But hopefully we've got some brown. It's not going to look as good. Hopefully it won't look too bad. We'll have to build it and find out. All right, that's better. So this drawer holds all of the pieces, most of the pieces from the Master Builder's Cantina. All the pieces from the middle except for one piece. And I can't remember what piece it was I took. So if we do need an extra piece, again, I've got drawers behind me that we can pull from. We're not exclusively using this set. We're trying to stick to it. Hello there, Promania Bricks. I finally made one of the streams. That's all right, no problem. At least you're here for a few minutes. Today's charity stream, like I said in the intro, isn't going to be raising money. YouTube don't allow that up until 10k subscribers, which does suck. But definitely, if you donated already, that is great. But if you aren't aware, today is Red Nose Day, Comic Relief, at least here in the UK. Not sure how many companies, how many countries are aware and celebrate something like that? Should you make a YouTube channel? 100%. I say go for it. And worst case, you know, you leave it for a year, don't post, kind of like someone else did, and then you get back to it if it's meant to be. But yeah, because YouTube, oh, there you go, we've got a few people in the US. I know we've got a few people across Europe as well. Being on the BBC, the British Broadcasting Channel, I think that's what it stands for. I assume Red Nose, Comic Relief and all that is a very much British charity event. It's a British charity at least. And usually over the last couple of years, they do specials for a lot of the big shows. We're looking at Doctor Who. Downtown Abbey has just been announced. I don't watch it, not really sure much what it is, but Downtown Abbey has been put on the back burner for a Lego set with some brand new. Actually, I think that was on Reddit that I saw that. Let's have a little look at that. Make alt builds a lot. Definitely, if you're making a lot of Lego builds, I'd recommend creating a channel. It might not take off as much as we see some other channels going, but it's so much fun getting to not just create Lego and post it online, but talk with other people that share a similar interest. So I definitely recommend giving it a go. We also got, let's see if it's on here. Here we go. So Lego Ideas, second 2024 review. I think we're waiting on early 2025. I think it is for the RNLI lifeboat, but we've got Snoopy. Is this Snoopy? Reddit used to have little captions, but that's only when they put it. I think that's Snoopy and an otter. This otter is adorable. I really like this one. But Lego are introducing the parking lot. As you've just seen, yada, 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 parking lot 2. So strong ideas, a bit more time to potentially succeed. These are ones that have already hit 10K, but haven't made it through. It's basically a 3rd and a 4th place, which I guess gets pushed back once, maybe twice. Maybe it does get pushed back twice. But the 2 sets are Tintin Space Rocket. I've watched The Adventures of Tintin, the movie that came out like 10 years ago. Don't remember a rocket in that. And we've also got the Downtown Abbey Highclere Castle, which does look pretty cool. And I'll be honest, I'm surprised there's no like Barbie dream houses or Taylor Swift houses in here, because we've seen a lot of those in the past as well. But no style. I did see when having a little look what image to use in the in the thumbnail of this video. I can't remember who made the mock now, but a few different websites take credit for it. It's a mock that's been around for like 5 years in the thumbnail. But I saw there was an early Lego ideas set for a Jedi Temple, which I thought was really interesting considering Lego's big no themed sets on ideas. When you're posting to ideas, they have a blacklist of sets that you can't post, but then we get Snoopy, then we get, I don't know if the Tintin rocket is themed, but then we get Downtown Abbey, which are very much themes and not, you know, just random builds that someone has submitted. So I don't know where the line is that Lego draw between IPs and not using IPs. It's something that I don't think we'll ever understand, but I guess we just gotta go with what Lego Ideas say. There's not really any two ways about it. Right, let's sort this out 1 second. Where? I have a feeling, but I'm going to have a very runny nose today and we'll be going off screen to blow it often. So if I disappear for a second, don't worry about that. But let's get into building the Jedi Temple. I think the first thing we're going to need is a strong base, which we do have a giant 16 by 16 tile that's meant to be in here. I didn't take that out, did I? Is that the piece? That might have been the piece that I took out when I first broke it down to build the other mock. It is, because it's over here. Good thing I know where I keep that. But this is going to be the big base of the Jedi Temple. Something to take a look at with the Jedi Temple. This isn't going to be massive. It's probably going to be about the size of Mos Eisley flipped on its side. But something to take into account is we've got quite a big base, which is probably going to house, you know, meditation chambers and throne rooms and all this sorts. And we're probably going to want this 16 by 16 to represent that and then build the sides out. We're going to want to conserve some plates for the next floor, but that doesn't mean we make the bottom too big. Do I think Lego will make a Jedi Temple?
I'm not convinced Lego will be making a Jedi Temple. Maybe we can get like Rex down to wear the nose or something. I'm not convinced Lego will ever make a Jedi Temple purely on the basis that I think a Jedi Temple would come with too many figures. It would almost be like Lego making a... I guess never say never. We can hope that they come out with a Master Builders, but I'm not too hopeful that Lego are going to switch up anytime soon. I just feel like it doesn't make sense for Lego, with what they do make, to come out with something like a Jedi Temple. I would love to be proven wrong. Please, Lego, come up with a temple. But at the same time, I do think maybe the closest we could get to a Jedi Temple is Iron Man's Armory, Hogwarts Castle. We could get a Jedi Temple Council Room, Jedi Temple Meditation Room, and slowly piece together. Lego have had the chance by now. Lego should have years ago, when they got given the next line of Star Wars shows and films. They knew about Young Jedi Adventures with the Jedi Castle, Jedi Temple, Jedi Castle. Oh, that doesn't sound right at all. They knew about the Revenge of the Sith anniversary coming up, Attack of the Clones, you know, all the big 20 years. Revenge of the Sith turns 20. This is it for another 4 years before Phantom Menace, I guess. But if Lego wanted to do a temple, I think they would have done just that. Built a council room, built, let's see if we've got any big pieces, built a meditation room for Yoda and Anakin, and sold us these little sets. And these might be little sets. Lego are still going to be charging 30 to 50 plus quid, a bit like Hogwarts. Maybe even give us a giant base that we can start building the temple on, and then slowly, piece by piece, sell us all these different bits of a Jedi Temple. And Lego didn't. They had... The Tennu Temple doesn't count, but in Young Jedi Adventures, they start off on Coruscant, which I completely forgot about. It's a good thing I went back and revisited them. So Lego could have given us a Coruscant Temple with the Younglings. They didn't have to go for Tennu. Tennu features more, but what are Star Wars fans going to pick up? A Tennu Temple or a bit of Coruscant Temple? Lego had the opportunity to go with that. We also got Acolyte. Young Jedi Adventure started 2 years ago. We must have got Acolyte a year or two ago as well. I don't think it's that old. I know Kenobi's going back some years now. I didn't realise how old that was. But Lego have had time and time again so many chances to give us parts of a Jedi Temple. Council Room should include Anakin, maybe some Younglings. Genuinely, we could get well, maybe we couldn't get Anakin and the Younglings, but we could get the Younglings with Yoda or Kenobi from the Lost Planet he has before Kenobi searches the archives. Kenobi with the Jedi archives, with a few characters from Clone Wars thrown in as well. Yoda and some Younglings, that makes so much sense. Then we get Anakin, young Anakin, Qui-Gon, you know, in the council room. They could even make a big-ish set, or maybe throw a few exclusive Jedi out. We know Lego don't like to make a ton of exclusive figures, which is why we've got this exclusive droid in a 4+ set. We've also got 3 exclusive characters in a 4+ set. And then going back 2 years ago, we got 3 exclusive minifigures in another 4+ set. I don't think the exclusive minifigures are too bad. But then by combining them, exactly, Anakin with the Younglings, you put these 2 bits next to each other and suddenly Anakin has to go next door. And we all know how that happened. But the Younglings didn't survive too well. I really like the... Again, I think this is Robot Chicken. Robot Chicken really is the only thing that beats Lego when it comes to Star Wars comedy, with Anakin and getting attacked by the Younglings at the end and face to face with Windu as well. I don't exactly know how to start off the base. We want a nice strong core, and the
those claret pieces are going to be a pain, but I might try and sneak some Technic into this build. That way we can get some nice angles like we did in the city. If any of you remember the city, wish they kept the part. I like how Robot Chicken handled it with Anakin running through a field of flowers and just cutting down these flowers that were screaming. Anakin, 100% worst babysitter. I can agree with that. I might sneak some Technic in. I'm also taking inspiration not just from the Tennu Temple. As you can see, the base is a bit bigger than the Tennu Temple, but I'm also taking inspiration from the Yavin 4 ceremony set. I do think the Yavin 4 set, it's if Yavin 4 wasn't lining up for a Jedi Temple, which I don't think it was. I don't think Yavin 4 was lining up for a temple. But if it does, and we are proven wrong, and, you know, the UCS Death Star is actually a £1,000 Jedi Temple, I think he'd be a worse babysitter on Tatooine. I don't know, did Anakin... I'm trying not to say, you know, death here on a charity stream. I know we're not raising money, but we are raising awareness for Red Nose Day. I'll be talking about that a bit more in a second. But baby Tuscans versus Younglings, who did he do more damage to? Because we saw, how many Reavers are there out there? He stabbed Reaver and she survived. So how many other Jedi have... There's a Youngling cult somewhere that's sole mission is to take down Vader. That would be a decent... I think that could be a decent game. If you are Darth Vader in a dark... Maybe you should be the Younglings. Maybe you should be like a Cal Kestis figure and Vader's just hunted you down, destroyed your ship or base or whatever it is, and you've just got the hum of Vader's lightsaber telling you where he is, and then it goes off and on. That could be a good horror game. I still want a Vader horror game. Not into horror games myself, but I'd be into a Vader one. I do also have, speaking of Red Noses, this is one of the newer ones, which, again, if you don't know, Red Nose Day, Friday 21st of March, pretty sure I got the date correct. We've got some of, well, it's best of the best. There are 4 common noses and 2 rare noses to get. So this nose is the original one from the 80s. 90s has 2 little hands. Let me show you the noses on here. So this is the box for this year. We got the original one here. The 90s has 2 little hands sticking out the side. The 2000s is the one that I remember with the glasses and the big grinny smile. And then 2010s is the dinosaur. But 2010s, I think, is when they went to paper noses, which weren't too great. However, I do have a nose, I'm pretty sure it was last year's, but it might have been from a year or 2 ago. And it's a mixture of paper. If any of you have paper Christmas ornaments, you might know, or you might find this a little bit familiar. But we've also got, Hatred of Sand. I guess, yeah, if he's on a sandy planet or on Mustafar, he would be a horrible, horrible babysitter on Mustafar. The only thing he hates more than sand is Kenobi at that point. You can see it sort of concertinas up. And maybe this will be a bit more comfortable. It pinches the nose a bit less. So, yeah, Anakin, wouldn't recommend looking after kids. Younglings, Tuscans, any way you put it. And I've also realised we don't have many... I'll leave that there for now. We don't have many slope pieces, so I'm definitely going to need to take a look at what we've got behind. We can work the wall a certain way, but if LEGO did want us to have a Jedi Temple, 26 years of LEGO Star Wars this year, LEGO would have given us one by now, and I think it's pretty clear. I don't know if it's something that Star Wars don't want. I don't know how many other Jedi Temple toys we've got. We probably got like a Tennu Temple for Young Jedi Adventures, but like we said, that doesn't count. That's not the temple we want. So I do wonder if it's LEGO or if it's Star Wars. Perhaps it's Star Wars stopping us from getting Jedi Temples. I don't believe anyone would really stop us getting any Jedi Temple builds, considering how much money they'd sell for. I feel like it's quite an easy profit for anyone to take advantage of, make a few Jedi Temples. Oh, and I'll have to Google that. I have to Google that in a second. Let's see if there are any Jedi Temples. There's got to be a model kit or like a puzzle kit. Something. Let's have a look. Let's bring it up.
And let's have a look for Jedi Temple toy. There's a few, like this build here. I'm not sure. This looks like a knockoff Lego, and I suppose we're probably going to see a lot of Lego. Hopefully we don't see anything too bad on here. It's quite risky opening this up. But we've got a Tennu Temple. That Tennu Temple's a bit better than the Lego one. Yeah, we haven't really got many Jedi Temple. I wonder if it is Star Wars that are stopping us from getting any Jedi Temples. That is interesting. But yes, we're here for Red Nose. The Red Nose is not staying on all stream. Otherwise, I'm just going to be constantly blowing it. But Red Nose Day, you get a load of, especially celebrities, doing big bike races and going on runs and little bits like that. But I was always interested in the Doctor Who specials. That's why I remember Red Nose Day, because every year there'd be a Doctor Who special. And right now, Red Nose Day, the BBC programme at least, showing off everything that they've done and all the money they've raised is on. So if you are in the UK, feel free to have that up on the other screen. I think England are also playing, so hopefully we can keep tabs on that in the chat. Someone can let us know if when we score. We're going to score. Hopefully I ain't jinxed that now. But I always remember Red Nose Day for all the specials, and over the last couple of years, it seems like it's died down a little bit. I don't remember many, if any, specials recently. Right, how are we going to work this? So we've got a base of the Jedi Temple, and what room should I'll let you vote on. Be on it with a score, thanks. keeping tabs on it while we stream. But what rooms are we wanting to see first? So we had a shout earlier for the council room. We've seen council room. I can't remember what I said earlier as well. The archives could be cool, and we can make these rooms and fill them in with extra parts later on. We will have to break this down. Let's get this out of the way so we're not holding on to this for as long as it shouldn't be too hard. There we go. And also, we will be going live again tomorrow. Today, I thought I wanted to bring this early because Red Nose Day is today, and the title was too good to pass on. Killing Younglings for charity. I guess the title already said it. Could have said it earlier, but I also think the Jedi Temple is something that I really wish we got from Lego. Not just recently and getting in the future. I'm still hopeful for that, but I'm surprised. 26 years is a long time to be sitting on any ideas. Well, sitting on any ideas as big as a Jedi Temple. So I really don't think Lego anytime soon will be giving us a Jedi Temple to any degree. Maybe with the sides here, we'll actually be saved a little bit with the plates that I said will go up the wall. As long as we can build out, as long as we've got a corner brick, but as long as we can build out the front tower here, as long as we can build this tower upwards and both of the sides will go up with a little stair mechanism or some sort of pattern going up the side and building back as we go, I think we could fill out the rest with, we got a few Technic bricks here, we might be able to make it work with just that, but we should be good. Where did I put that? Oh no, I just had a Technic pin and I've lost it already. I only imagine what people would do with the temples. I think there'll be a lot of younglings. Maybe that's a reason Lego didn't want to do it. But you might remember Book of Boba Fett gave us a Jabba's Palace. And originally Lego were told, well, they weren't exactly told they couldn't do it, but they were advised against it because of, I think it was something culturally, it's to do with the actual temple of those monks. And I don't exactly know the story behind it, but I do know that because of, I can't remember what temple this is. You have to Google it to find what it is, but so many mocks, Tatooine, Hoth, and a Battlefront 2 Jedi Temple. All right, remind me to speak about tomorrow's stream again in a second, but because it does tie in with Battlefront 2 Jedi Temple, kind of ties in. I think that's from the original Battlefront 2, but they were told not to, or they were I guess, petitioned against doing it because of the inappropriate. I think one of the towers resembles another tower. I don't exactly know the story behind it. However, a few years later, we ended up getting a Book of Boba temple, which is the same temple as Jabba's, which was interesting to see. But yeah, I suppose that would also mean that there was a Jabba's palace build or set in the works, which might be why they still had the original Jabba mold from so many years ago for the sail barge last year. So maybe there is a Jedi Temple in the works. Maybe we will see some part of it some point soon, and I'm really hoping we will. But using these Technic pieces, I should probably try and do this side first. What we can do is connect. Maybe we can connect it back one step further, and there we go. We can lock this ramp in here, and I do think this could be a little short actually for the Jedi Temple. We might need to adjust that angle and like weight it down at the bottom so that it's not slipping around. If only we had some Technic pin elements that had a bit more friction. I might sneak one in right at the start just to get it to hold. We'll secure it down later. I'm actually pretty confident that it will be secured down by all the bricks because this will expand just far enough for it to be weighted down on the other bricks. But if we can get the front of the temple looking something like this, look, I'm kind of seeing it already. We just need to work on getting those dark red. I've been working on a Mustafar. I think I said this on Wednesday stream, Mustafar diorama, after talking about it so much on these streams. And I would like to see more of the Door on Peridia style. Oh, it's right here. The Door on Peridia style diorama, where we've got a lot of the rock work around, and it's not just a squared off base. When I built the diorama from the recent video, the Attack of the Clones one, I really wanted to go all out on that base. I kind of ended up copying the Ahsoka door, but I've noticed with a lot of sets, like with this Jedi Temple right here, we are trying to limit ourselves to the pieces when really there's no reason to limit to the pieces. There's probably a good idea. Have a Mustafar MOC already. I can't believe I wasn't making videos when I posted the first one. Mustafa's just the duel sequence leading up to the duel. There is so much untapped potential with it. Hoth 1 has a base plate complete. Started today. That is crazy fast. The progress is jumping up on that. I remember seeing, I think we did a similar thing here on, we might not have had the channel at that point. I remember someone doing a Hoth MOC that was just a bunch of like AT-ATs and battle packs, because Hoth is, if you were to start doing this goes for everyone, if you were to start doing a MOC today, I think Hoth would probably be one that I recommend for base plates. That is massive. I guess Hoth does have to be massive for all of the AT-ATs that are on it. Need all the space for the forelegs. But let's have a little look. Let's get up an image of the Jedi Temple so I know what I am building. That's bound to help. All right. I want to see if there's any windows. I know at the bottom there's a lot of little doorways. What do we think? Do we think this is going to be too thick in the middle? Should we expand the sides out? How many base plates? Let's start by getting all of the base plates we could possibly ever need out as well. Might do 6. Are these white? Are these 48 by 48 white base plates, or are these, 48 by 48 big old base plates? Because if you're covering them with white yourself, I think if you were buying all the white pieces, I guess having that many white pieces is fair enough. But if you were buying the pieces, paint might be cheaper to buy than a load of white Lego elements. Just get some grey base plates, or even some custom base plates. There's quite a few not bad custom base plates out there. All right, this might be too big. We might be trying to stretch too far here. Let's wheel that back in. Do I have... All right, these two are the same. Just need one more for the other side. and make sure we are making this model symmetrical. We could even do a little corner of the temple if we really wanted to. And I think that's all our base plates. Let me just double check. Yeah, I mean, there's a few wedges, but that seems to be all the big ones we can use. I think I have some of the white ones come in the smaller 32 by 32, but a lot of the times for mocks, what you could do is have a little look. I know Smiths here in the UK do some multicoloured ones. Getting the same colour is very hard to do outside of Lego, but you can have a little look, see if anyone locally sells some custom base plates, and especially for something like Hoth, it might save you can still detail the base plates, but if you do end up running out of pieces, you won't be able to notice because the base plate's also white. Or spray paint. If you've got an abundance of Lego base plates and don't mind ruining them, painting over them, you can always spray them. Lego logo will still show through. Right. We could add some windows to the front here. I'm taking a look at Jedi Temple. There's a few different versions, and I have to say the Jedi Temple from High Republic doesn't look very dark red. We've come to know the dark red through the colours of the temple. High Republic is very tan and brown. We might get away with this one yet. I think it's 432. That's still 64 by 64 studs. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4. What's that? It's about 10, 20, 30, 40, 40 something. I think it's probably about 50. So that's pretty much the depth of this desk, more or less. And then half of this desk across. Absolutely massive. 6 is basically the whole desk at that point. Oh, kind of needed them. Shouldn't throw those back in. What's the biggest mock? I still think the biggest mock I've built is the AT-OT dropship and gunship carrier, which we built last Saturday. I don't think there's been a few, big. I suppose the biggest mock would probably be something like the Lego City. That's all. You can't even see it in the little corner. Let me zoom in a little bit. There you go. We've got the remains of the Lego City, which are on display on the back. We've also got, you can't see it, but down here somewhere is the Minecraft City. We've also got Harry Potter going on. So there are a few different projects, but a biggest Star Wars one, yeah, has to be the dropship. I have to mash some base plates together, and maybe we can do something for Andor when Andor comes out. I do want to, every single week for Andor, we will be going live on the Saturday building something from Andor. So expect to also see a few bonus streams during the week, because it means that the Saturdays will be taken up with Andor. But tomorrow I'm going to go live playing, hopefully, if it works. If not, then I guess we'll probably play another game, but playing Battlefront 2. Not the classic one, but the newer Battlefront 2. And that should be tons of fun, because it's been a while since I've loaded the game. I originally played it on PlayStation, and then I think last year, no, not last year, 3, I made some videos on it. I think it was 3 years ago now. Downloaded it on the computer, probably free for May 4th or something like that, and played a little bit of it to get some good footage for those videos, which it wasn't half bad. It weren't great, but it wasn't half bad. And then, yeah, never really played it again. So I'm hoping to get back into that. And I'm also thinking about a Lego Skywalker Saga playthrough. That could be something interesting to do here on the channel. Wonder what the reception to that would be like, because I've played through, I think me and my partner completed Skywalker Saga, if I remember correctly. But it'd be nice to play that back through, because it's quite a fun game. There should be some more Technic joints in here. Although I know the sound of Lego is 1.5. Oh yeah, we played from episode 1 all the way through to episode 5, where we were with Yoda, and then it glitched out. I think Yoda just straight up despawned, and this was within like 4 months of the game being released. It weren't straight away, over time, little bits, but they just hadn't patched it Maybe they patched it 4 months after. Maybe it was like 2 months after they patched it. But it took so long getting patches out for that game. It was so buggy. It was handy on certain bits, because I remember on Takodana specifically, there was a few little bits you could jump around and work your way around a few stories, and I took full advantage of that. If anyone out there is stuck on the sequels, if anyone out there wants to try a game and is worried about any bugs or that, send it my way. Don't even send it my way. Just give me a demo and I will find every single bug in that game. I somehow have this special ability where I can just break a game. I feel like I break a game just by looking at it sometimes. Sometimes I'm scarily good with finding bugs. Couldn't fix half of them, but I could find them. I don't know. It's a special ability almost. Even with games like Fortnite updates, there's always some bug with, or something Fortnite haven't thought about with their weapons testing that you can take advantage of, and you know, I'm always taking full advantage of it. Try not to cheat. Like, there's a few ones that are just a bit boring when you're playing the game, but as long as it doesn't hurt the opponent's experience, I'm taking full advantage of it. Alright, we've got these two walls this side. This should be able to connect those up. However, 1, 2, you can't see that. Let's pull this back a little bit. Try that again. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 over here, or 4, depending if you're counting in order, is a little longer than the rest. So we've got some of these 2x3 plates which we can line over the top. I'm not entirely sure how many there's going to be. I'm just hoping there's enough at this point, and time shall tell. Alright. I was a bit surprised with Wednesday's stream, actually, how well that did, considering we were looking at 4+ sets. But I am working, still currently working on a video for that, which should be out tomorrow. I'm making a lot of noise with this Lego, so hopefully you can all still hear me. And again, anything happens with the chat playing up, muting the stream, just give it a quick refresh, double check all the settings are good, and hopefully it's okay. But with Wednesday stream, yes, with 4+ sets, it still performed pretty well. So I'm definitely considering doing more. $8 for one base plate. Hey, how much? You know what? I think. Why did I think base plates were more expensive than that? Smiths do. It's something crazy like £5 for £5. And if you are in the UK and you're by a Smiths, you're probably watching this going, no, it's more like a tenner. It feels like £5 for £5, but let's have a little look. Let's see. Hopefully you can see this on stream. So we search for base plate. They come up the base plate. £7.99, so £8. I don't like this whole 99. That's something else as well. This whole 99, £7.99 and £12.99. Basically just £13 and £8. But yes, £8 for one white base plate. Let me have a little look, see what Smiths is, because it's definitely cheaper than that. Well, for the Lego base plates, it's not. It's probably about the same. But there's a 5-pack. Oh, okay. It's not. 5-pack of 32 by 32 base plates. Same place, same size as Lego, different place. And £8. £8 for 5. I mean, I could calculate how much that would be on the 3D printer, but I can tell you straight off, it's not even £8 for 5. I only have green and blue base plates. Well, I tried to send you over a white one, but I don't think it's able to send through video. Imagine you could just peel it off the screen. That'd be awesome. We'd do that. We wouldn't need videos. We'd just do that straight from the Lego website. But let's grab the. Oh no, there's more here. But with base plates, they are pretty expensive. Considering it's just a plate of Lego, you'd think they're a little bit cheaper. I wonder if Lego, we've seen with the recent Jurassic World sets, Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, that they've suddenly increased in value. And to be completely honest, I think they've only increased in value in America. I don't think they did increase in value over here. I haven't seen many people speaking about those sets in general. But I'm pretty sure that they haven't increased over here. And no doubt they probably will before they release, but they haven't increased yet. But I wonder if at any point Lego will suddenly drop. I think Optimus Prime decreased before Optimus Prime came out, and then Bumblebee was a little bit cheaper part per piece. But I wonder if, like, the Death Star, the UCS Death Star will come out. That's £1,000 or $1,000, so probably be $950, something like that. And I wonder if that will just drop to $950 or something before release. Hello there, Bayonet. We are building a Jedi Temple because Lego haven't, and to be quite honest, we're tired of waiting. We're not waiting for Lego anymore. We are building this temple, and our plan is to have a middle sticking out, which I see now is a little bit bigger. Let's remove these plates. A little bit bigger than we might want it for the Jedi Temple, but we're going with this with an artistic vision. We're not going one for one to scale. Death Star might be 1,100. I mean, yeah, it could always be more expensive as well. Some back and forth. That does make sense. I do think when it comes to leaks, and especially this back and forth, it looks like it's sometimes a he said, she said, and no one really knows. But I genuinely think Lego deliberate so much on these sets, and really, it might not look like they are, you know, trying their hardest all the time. But I think Lego puts so much into making these sets, and at the end of the day, it's their business, you know. Lego do have to put everything into every set, but I do think they put a lot more than it looks into these sets. So Lego themselves might be switching it up, and different people within Lego might have different ideas of what's going to be worth so much, and it will be interesting to see if it is just differs to 1,000, 1,100, even if it's slightly more expensive, slightly cheaper. Maybe that $1,000 was £1,000. Gonna go bankrupt buying 5 $8 base plates. I do like the fact that Smiths over here have the cheaper ones where you can get 5 of them for £8 or $8. And well, you can't get them from $8 because I don't think Smiths are overseas, at least not yet. You never know. Toys R Us doesn't look out, but it would be nice to get some plainer coloured ones. I like the multicoloured ones. I also like some plain ones. Do you think I'll put in a little request to get some plain base plates? Never say never. I don't know what company that's through as well. It might be worth having a look for anyone that wants to. There we go, make sure we get the right one. Which company? Is this just brick plates? I don't, oh no, Build It. Oh, I think Build It are the same company that made this display, you know, this LED display back here. I think that might be the same company. I didn't even realise that. I didn't pair those two together. How interesting. All right, on the side here, right, let's put you back in the box. We've got this little staircase going up. As you can see by these plates moving, I'm not convinced that's the right angle. It'd be a pretty good angle, to be fair, for a Jedi Temple, but you can see the way it pivots around. There you go, it's just popped off. The way it pivots around these bricks up here, I do not think that is the correct angle whatsoever, so we might need to workshop that. What have we got? 2 1x4s. We could swap it out, or we could just put a 1x1, in all fairness. And then, there we go. That's more like it. And then get another 1x4. What's nice about this, it's looking like some real neat. Look for cheaper base plates. 5 for $8. That's $40 for 5. $7.59 at Target. Does Target have a little point scheme going on? That's what you want to keep an eye out for. Any points you can get back definitely add up when it comes to Lego. Insiders points as well. I think the way Insiders points work, how much does Insider's Points get you? 5% back? There's no special deals at the minute, so it's not going to be 10%. I don't know if double points works on base plates. Usually it is only sets. So 5%. Yeah, you're not looking at too much, are you? That's 40. I mean, that's about what you're getting at Target. If Target's got a point system going, then it's a lot better. Or Walmart. Same at Walmart. Still not an amazing deal. But sometimes secondhand base plates with the Lego brick. The good thing about the Lego brick in general is the fact that it is so honed in with its dimensions that it works with pretty much any alternate plate. And as long as it's bricks plates and you're not looking at the more fragile elements, you've got no worry of these elements snapping when you put them on the non-Lego base plates. Which is why I'm not too scared when it comes to attaching Lego to other base plates. Right, we need something just to hold this up at the bottom, and maybe by adding, we get a few of the door rails, but I don't know where the, oh wait, there should be some door rails here. Maybe by putting a door rail on each side, we can just strengthen that connection, just that little bit that it needs, because, right, let's pop this off. We won't put it all the way to the edge, we don't want it visible. Oh, and we might have to bring that out one. Right, we can always cover it up if it works. Let's give that a go. There we, oh no, oh, is that too high, too low? Oh, that's not even capturing it. Maybe we just move it down a stud. How about that? Nope. Alright, a stud is too much. So we need something that's like 90% of a stud. Maybe we can just reinforce this on the other side. Whereabouts with this? I guess we'd really need something sticking out. Let's see if we can work anything. We do have some hinges. Don't think they'll work. I've also been racking my brains on a short I posted. Well, it feels like a week ago. It probably isn't a week ago, but the short covering any Lego brick being built with other Lego bricks. The ball joint has really, that's the one Lego brick that might not be able to build. I'm still getting there. I'm gonna find a way to do it, but it's probably the hardest one to make using other Lego bricks. All right, that's the same size as the arch, which is nice to know because we can give it some support there. Maybe that's all it needed, an extra bit of support on the way up. Does this, nope. All right, let's not try that. I think we should be able to fit something over it though. Maybe even move the arch back or down one. Game has kicked off. Have we scored yet? Any goals for England? Every 5 minutes. Have we scored yet? If I'm ever in Atlanta or Orlando, Brick Co. I do envy, I'm not sure if Brick Co is anything like Bricks and minifigures, but I do envy Bricks and minifigures not having anything like that. The closest thing, I've got a few local smaller shops near me that I've been meaning to visit actually. I got one. It's not really near me. It's a good bus journey away. But it's the nearest one. It's nearer than a Lego store, that's for sure. Still no goals? Oh, come on, what are we doing? We ain't scored yet. That's not good. What is a Brick Co? What's a Brick Co hold? Because there's also, is it Clone Army Customs? Clone Army Customs have a, or is it Grandpa Clone? It's one of those have a physical store. Need an eye test. Yeah, we can go one way. We'll just stop off at the eye test. Maybe after the eye test is a good idea. Don't want to be mistaking any purchases. All right. So what we're doing here is realizing we're going to need a bit more space. So we'll grab that back in just a second. But what we're going to need to do is tile down these plates. You can see moving this around, they're just chomping. So we need to close them up. The thing is here, I'm wondering if I should plate it down or brick it down, because we're going to need some walls in the interior. Maybe bottom floor should have some arches instead of walls, and that can be like the main lobby of the Jedi Temple. I like the idea for that. Lego store's 40 minutes away. To be fair, hopping on normally the quickest we can get to a Lego store is probably about 48 minutes from where I am, and that is from train stop to train stop with no delays, ahead of schedule. So it's probably about the same as a Lego store. But let's go to, yeah, if you've got a store, I always go to Smith's. Smith's is not 40 odd minutes on a train away from me. And yeah, if there's a place, especially with Smith's, I always go into Smith's expecting to pick something up or see something and walk away with a cheaper Lego set or like a Funko that's on sale, something like that. Because I find the thing is with a Lego store, when you go into a Lego store, you know, there's Lego. The main reasons I go into a Lego store are for the pick-a-brick wall and for the build a minifigure station, and for... I don't think I've ever gone in for a gift with purchase. This is why I'm arguing for May 4th. Do I go into a Lego store for the May 4th gift with purchase, and, you know, there might be a big queue. Like I said, you're looking at an hour away, especially that time of the morning, and then risk it being sold out? Or do I order it online? The only problem with okay, brickheads. That's a good point. We do go in for brickheads, but you can even order those online. And I think you only have to spend £40, or is it £50 to get free delivery on lego.com, which if you're ordering brickheads being plural, you're already halfway there. Brickheads are Lego Funko Pops. They are. I don't know if you can... I cut them off for the stream. We've got a nice little line of brickheads just up there. You'd see it in the backgrounds of most of the videos. Maybe what I should have done is included... Do we include an arch? Thing is, if we include an arch, should we include steps? Maybe what we should do is on the next floor include some arches, some steps, and each floor should only be 7 bricks tall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we should really move the arch to somewhere like here. Does this still provide the same support? Yeah, that'll be all right. But are we going to want to put some plates on top? Maybe what we can do to double up the plates is if I see if I've got any more of these, because these are the perfect height to go up and these are the perfect depth to go across like that. If I see we've got any more of these, then what we can use is 2 Mos Eisley's. I think that will work. No one's got... Does anyone have 2 Mos Eisley's? Someone probably has 2 Mos Eisley's. But now that I've organised these drawers, it shouldn't be that hard to find out. So what are we looking for? Another 4 of them. I think that's asking for quite a lot. We got some bigger plates. All right, I got 1, and then for any of the smaller one. Oh, okay, now we're talking. This drawer is full of them, but it's also stuck. There we go. Look at all these dark tan plates. We've got a few of these 6x8s, a few 8x8s in there. I think I'm definitely going to nab. You know what? Let's take them out now. So how many do we need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6, maybe 7. So let's grab 7 of them, and we'll just twist it a little bit. It's still a piece that's included in Mos Eisley. We're just including more than we actually get in the official set. I got not enough room for all these drawers. We'll come back to that one. But brickheads, maybe we could go in store. If we just want 1 brickheads, we're still waiting on picking up the Eeyore brickheads. We picked up the Stitch one, but even then, it's when we're in store. I think the only reason I would go... I don't even think I can say the Build a Minifigure station, because I've been wanting to get the recent... Is it a new... Is there a new brick costume at the Build a Minifigure stations? I think it's a brick. Midi-scale Venator. Made a lot I think there's some real. I like we were talking about the ATTE into the Venator as well. I like the idea of that, but that's a lot of modifications to make it look more like a Venator. That's what I ended up doing with mine, with the bottom of it. But I still feel like the engines could have had a little bit of work. So I bet that looks really cool. There we go. Right. Oh, we got 3. How are we going to make these columns? We could add a bit of variety. You know, the Jedi Temple's definitely worn down over time. Maybe... Oh, I don't know if there'll be enough of these. Nah. Maybe... Yeah, if we include these like that, every other brick will still look quite good. 4, 4, 3. Instead of the 1 on top, we get another corner brick. Just saw one. Oh no, we need a 1 by 2. Making the ATT into the Venator. Yeah, I remember that from, I keep saying last week because I'm used to streaming Saturdays. I think it was from Wednesday stream. It might have been last week. But I feel like the wedge pieces on the ATTE, definitely enough of those wedge pieces to pile up. Should we be doing another arch? I'm not sure if the other arch, I realise you can't see what I'm doing here. I'm not sure the other arch has enough pieces to go across. There we go. Nah, I'm not sure how, unless, because the Jedi Temple has a lot of these columns. So what we could also do is move these across and have some columns, something like that. Because there are columns I feel like the columns being off center isn't too big a problem, but we can always center them with some 1 by 3 bricks. So they'll be built up. Oh no, that's not centered. That's still wonky because of this side. Maybe something like that. 1 by 4 bricks. Maybe we could just make some wider pillars at the front. Either way, let's move this back and get another column built up. Right, we need one of these, and the piece we use every week, one of these. Not that specific piece, but I always feel like I'm saying one of these. And then that, something like that. This is coming together quite nicely already. Is that might be too much. Maybe we should. Yeah, maybe we should, or at least swap these two around. There we go. What I'm trying to do is make sure that all of the 2 bricks below have kind of like this. Make sure all 2 bricks that are connected below, like so, have another brick across the little crack going up them. Chilling in your Lego room. I mean, it's pretty awesome to have a Lego room. That does sound pretty cool. Right. Now I've just got to be careful I don't miss one of the bricks below. But look at that. Absolutely storming through it. No, that's not a good idea. Let's get 1 by 2 up there. I wasn't expecting to be moving along so smoothly with all these. Oh, what we forgot though is the flooring. Because we do need to add some sort of levels. Right, let's build up the middle bit here. Lego room is full of Lego. I was replying to a bunch of comments because I've been a bit behind in the comments. So if you're waiting a few days for a reply, don't worry, the reply is on its way. But I was replying to a ton of comments before this, and a lot of them were talking about the too much Lego. I posted about too much Lego, meaning brick separators. You can never have too much Lego. But a lot of you were saying, wow, too much Lego doesn't exist. And there's no such thing as too much Lego. There's only such thing as not enough space. Which I like the idea of that. It kind of is a very backwards way of saying it, because I suppose in essence that is still too much Lego. But Yeah, absolutely full of Lego. I don't know if I was on land. I'm not stopping applying to land by any means. Still going to push through with it. But imagine getting every single set. Well, besides all the UCS sets. I don't think land gives out too many of those. But imagine getting every single Lego set. First off, that would be awesome. Not having to pay for Lego Star, not having to pay for Lego. It's like unheard of. But getting one of, every couple of sets. Battle packs would be cool because you'd get a free one. I'd still end up buying a load of them. But imagine having to store all of that Lego. I'd have to be paid to do that with how much Lego I'd get just to buy a bigger place. Yeah. I wouldn't kick anyone out for Lego. I'd just have to build another shed. We'd have a third one just full of Lego. A Lego shed, Lego room, Lego shed. And yeah, where'd you go from there? Once you get kicked out of your own place for Lego. Alright. And look at that. Is that the top of the temple? Are we cool with 2? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then maybe we can detail the roof. I do want to add some spires, and I know the middle chunk's going to be a little bit higher. Maybe we can have an extra room in the middle. Speaking of which, where? Oh, there. Speaking of which, I never checked if I had the pieces to do the roof. I know I've got some 8x, another 6x. Maybe the 8x will come in handy for the centre bit. Might as well take them while I'm here. But this Jedi Temple is... Ah, okay. I was going to say it's coming along. The 8x aren't proper 8x. They're still useful, though. All right, let's put on the nose. We're raising awareness for common relief, even the toilet. Yeah. Why don't we make a house out of Lego? I think James May did it first, but we'll make a... Oh, did Ed Sheeran do it first? James May physically, Ed Sheeran musically did it first. But even the Lego toilet, you'd have to tile off the toilet seat. That wouldn't be very... I don't even think tiles would be very comfortable. Hey, perfect time. Never tiled for Lego. Welcome to the stream. We're just talking about Lego toilets. Don't mind us. And actually, would you be able to build... I guess if you like rested it against the wall, but I wonder how many ball joints you would need to have, so not just a toilet seat, but something like a door. How many ball joints would make up a hinge? Because hinges are quite strong. They have to hold a lot of weight. But yeah, I'm not quite sure if there are enough hinges for that. All right, do we have a 2x2? 2x2 plate. Come on, Moss Isley. You got to have a 2x2 plate somewhere. I see now with the big red nose, even the bed, even the nose, even with the nose, I can't see below sort of this point, so I'm having to really duck down for it. We've got a load of these, but the problem is they only have 3 studs on top. Oh, there you go. There's another one. There's another one. We got a ton of these wedge pieces, but no 2x2s. Oh, there you go. A 2x2 with only 2 studs. How about a urinal? That would probably be a bit more comfortable, especially built in Lego. I'm not sure. I suppose you can spray the Lego with sealant to seal it up, but I'm not sure how many times you'd have to do that. It'd become like weekly chores. Just continuously spraying it. Oh, yes. We've got a 2x2 in tan. With a few extra pieces, we can get rid of them. Yes, the hammer. A Lego house. So we've got a Lego bed, a Lego toilet. Would the plates, would like the plates, the knives and forks, are we going all out Lego, or are we, integrating a little bit here? Somebody's made a room out of Lego before. If we're building a minifigure scale Star Destroyer at 100k subs, I have to pass on the urinal. Would a Lego room be before that or after? I feel like recreating certain aspects, looking around. Oh, I should probably be saying this instead of thinking this to myself. So my first thought was my standing desk. The good thing about this desk is the fact that it can raise itself and it can lower itself. Don't want to lower it too much. But what if we could build something like this out of Lego? You'd probably have to go. I don't know if Lego's gearboxes would be as good as to, you know, especially with the touch of a button, just raise and lower itself. But if we could do this, could we make an actual lightsaber? You know, the Imagineering Disney one that sort of expands and retracts with some plastic sheets that round themselves off. Could we make a realistic lightsaber with Lego? Surely if we could get motors small enough to incorporate in them and a little light kit as well to stick on the inside, surely we'd be able to create something somehow similar. Wouldn't be able to sell it because it'd probably be too close to the Disney Imagineering version, but surely we'd be able to build something similar to that. What should I make an alt build out of next? Oh, that's a good question. I don't think there's many Lego Star Wars sets coming out that are alt build worthy. We've got the Acclimator into a Venator, and you know, you could play around with that Star Destroyer. But we got Grogu. We got the Home One. The Home One can be turned into that Rogue One. So Rogue One, 4 out of 47. Lego. 4 out of 47. The actual lightsabers, the full length lightsabers, the hilts, or the or these Lego lightsabers. I don't think you mean these Lego lightsabers. These are a bit too small. We got Grogu. Rubricable, definitely worth putting your instructions on Rubricable, because there's such a big base. It's a bit like Bricklink for selling Lego. There's such a big base of Lego people on there. Some are full size. The full size ones. That's yes, England 1-0. You know what I should have done, and I don't know where it is. I'm now the other side, the dark corners of my room. All right, celebrate. Oh, almost knocked something down. You didn't see that, thankfully. All right, celebrate England. You'll have to give me 1 second. We'll be right back in a minute. All right, it's not exactly been 1 minute. Come on, England, 1-0. I can't believe I didn't put on my England shirt for this. Yes, went live as soon as Comic Relief. First England game, therefore first England goal, not the sequel quote. Yeah, I had to do it. Somehow, what's it? Somehow I'll return. Somehow I'll return. There you go. Had to do it. I think that was first from Fortnite. So I don't know if Star Wars get the credit for that or if Fortnite do, because somehow Palpatine returned and somehow the announcement was given in Fortnite. Not Star Wars Celebration, not Disney, what's it, D23? Fortnite. Mental. But realised we haven't used any of these 2x3s. Well, we could just use... Do I have a spare? 1, 2, 3, 4. Why do we have so many of... How many of these did I get out? I was meant to get out 4. But with these 2, that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, 8. Maybe it was 8, not 4. Maybe it was 2, 4 each. The sequels, nothing against the sequels. I'm excited to be getting more sequel content in Lego, but the sequels don't do themselves well. I think the problem was Star Wars under Lucas. Lucas knew what he wanted, and if it got the Lucas stamp, it went ahead. There were a few things that slipped through, Leia remembering her mother, but for the main part of the sequels, for Star Wars before the sequels, if Lucas didn't say yes, then you had to really try hard to sneak it into the movie. And then when Disney were doing it, Disney didn't have that one, but they had Kathy Kennedy, and she didn't ruin Star Wars as many people think, but she wasn't the Lucas. She was the president. She was the Feige, and we see in Marvel often there are little bits that get put through that might not add up to everything else we see in Marvel. And what Star Wars needed was one person, and a load of fans have wanted that to be, over the years, Filoni, Favreau, which might be a good idea. We've got Filoni in his creative director role, something like that, which will be interesting to see what that comes out to do over the next couple of years, especially with Filoni himself still working on projects, because he's very much in the mix with these other directors, which I think is fair. I don't know if Filoni would be a great president of Star Wars. Mind you, I don't know if Lucas would have been a great president. He would have done something, so, I'm sure we wouldn't be complaining, but turn Captain Rex Y-Wing. Oh, good idea for the Y-Wing. U-Wing. You might need two. You might need two of them, and those pieces aren't too common. Well, at least not in my collection, they're not too common. So that might be asking for the impossible. But if you can, highly recommend turning it into a U-Wing, especially with Andor coming up. The brand new U. I'm actually looking at building the old U-Wing. I don't know how many more pieces left I have to get of that. And of course, the minifigures would help. Not sure about paying half of what they're worth, though. A few quite expensive figures out of that set. Right. 1x4 on top. Nice lot. What I like about the Master Builder's Cantina, and what I'm gonna hopefully try to remember, that we've still got this middle section to build just in here, is all of the tan bricks that were included, and all of the non-tan bricks, all of the different patterns as well. But definitely Captain Rex's Y-Wing. First thing I thought of looking at it was, first thing I thought of when looking at it was, how big is this going to be minifigure scale? So we built it minifigure scale, and I must say, I am very impressed with the way that it turned out. Even to toot my own horn a little bit, I'm very impressed how sturdy the engines were, of all things, with that being minifigure scale, because I did not think that was holding itself up. 3, 4, where are we at? 3, 4, 4, 3, makes sense. But yeah, the Y-Wing's got to look good with it. It has to. No other choice. Oh, that's what we forgot. Got the little bases here. I might need a little bit of strength or something to hold them up, but we do have... Oh, might need a bit of strength to hold this up. Let's get this reinforced. Can't be having that popping off. We got a ton of bricks. We could add a 1x1 underneath if we've got a 1x4 plate. There we go. Here we are. Might go Orlando Brick Co. I always forget that different people are in different time zones, because it's coming to the end of the day here in the UK, but it must be... Oh, what's the time? Must be afternoon? Not too late. And then you got people the other side of the world as well that are probably sleeping, probably change a time of the stream at one point just to get a few more peeps involved. All right, there we go. We're just securing in these walls with a little bit of bricks next to and plates underneath, just to get it really locked in, and hopefully that should stop it popping off. 414. There you go, close. Oh, almost spot on with 4. A shot in the dark and it paid off. Right, might add some windows to this middle bit, but I don't want to overdo it, especially with the lack of the windows and doorways at the bottom. I do think this could look pretty cool. Don't know if we'll be using these. Maybe we can get a little meditation chamber in with this pod. Oh, just a giant dome in the middle of the room. Maybe have a little throne for... I tell you what, the Jedi Temple was the Imperial Palace, so we should probably include a little throne. We've got the High Republic with, you know, the Younglings and Yoda. We've got the Old Republic with this Jedi. Again, a lot of these figures are probably just going to be standing around in the lobby here. We've got the chambers. Definitely got to include the chambers. That might be worthy of this floor that we're going to build up to next. I think we do that before finalizing the other side. That'd be a good idea. Right. Let's probably even try and bridge the gap to one of these beams at some point. Maybe that's what we can do here. Add a little... Oh, maybe. I might be tempted to. Would require breaking this apart a little bit. Just a little bit. There we go. So what I'm doing, trying to add a bit more support to these side panels here, and building that in with the frame definitely adds a lot of that what we need. Buy all the Hoth sets for the Hoth MOC, yes. Pick them all up before anyone else gets the opportunity. I wonder, I was looking at this for the 4+ sets and for the videos, and I think I might have mentioned this in the stream. I'll be honest, probably didn't mention it in the video. But with all of these 4+ sets, we've got the Mando, we've got the 2 Young Jedi Adventures, I've got the TIE, the Snowspeeder, and the A-Wing. The A-Wing, love an A-Wing, had to pick that up. I think there's an X-Wing. There must be like 3 sets that I haven't built out of the 4+ line, and some of them I own all the parts too. I think there was a Poe and a Luke X-Wing, as there was with like every type of set when the sequels were coming out. There was a original trilogy and then a sequel version. Well, at least with the X-Wings, Poe seemed to have a new X-Wing every movie, which I'm sure he probably actually did. But I wonder how much it would cost to build all of the Hoth sets. This is what got me talking about it, because the 4+ sets aren't too bad, and given how well how good they look, really, it's nothing to do with video performance or any of those stats. It's how good the 4+ sets look, and the N1 really did surprise me with how good that build was. Given maybe my expectations were set a little bit too low, but that really did perform quite well. So I wonder how much one of every single Hoth set. I'm also curious to see how many Hoth sets are at Orlando Brick Co. But I wonder if you were to buy, because we've got like the Master Builders Hoth set, which is a couple £100. That's the most that's not the most expensive, because we've got is that flickering? That's flickering. One of these are flickering. We've got the UCS 8080, and that's definitely the most expensive. That's more expensive than the other one. All right, that should stop the flickering. Sorted out the plugs. There we go, that's better. But we've got the UCS 8080. Yeah, maybe one of every Hoth set is a bit expensive. But if you have the 8080 and the Master Builders Hoth set, I wonder then how much it would cost. A bit cheaper. I bet the UCS 8080 and the Master Builders Hoth sets are cheaper, or at least about as expensive as every single other Hoth set that LEGO have made. That would be a crazy stat. I thought we had some 2x2 tiles just to finish off the front, but by the looks of it, not a lot. A lot of 2x4. You'd have thought that on some of these panels they'd have a load of 2x2s, but they seem to go for 2x4s and 2x3s. And pretty much all of them. This panel as well. maybe breaking this down completely is what we should do next time. Also, what I want to do on streams, because come May we're going to be building a bunch of brand new sets, I'd also like to just go straight into the mock building. I mean, it's fun to look at brand new sets, but especially some of the smaller sets, I think being able to at minimum modify it live is quite a fun experience over, you know, building it in one stream, modifying it in another stream, just going straight into it and skipping the video. I don't know how. I'd have to put out another poll as well closer towards the time. This channel is somehow shooting up pretty quickly as we get closer to May. Don't know what that is. Must be a Star Wars holiday coming up. But yeah, I'd have to do a poll closer to the time. But anyone in chat interested in set reviews after the set's out? Because I feel like a lot of people that want the set, maybe for 4+ sets and the rarer sets, the books, come April, we are going to be looking at the encyclopedia as soon as I get my hands on it. But as far as reviews go, unless we're getting it early through some sort of LAN or it's like an older set, I don't know. I don't know if I will continue reviewing sets or just go straight into modifying it. I feel like the fun is where the modifying's at, or the modifying is where the fun at. I think I said that one backwards. Right, these front columns are going to be built the exact same. Oh, how far did we need to build this out? I'm out of archers. Maybe we can try and make some more room for this to just... That works. That's looking dangerous, almost like when I picked up the gunship with one hand and switched the wing out. All right, we need to build that four in, and that needs to be on this level. Oh, but we want these on this level, so maybe we go like 3 out and then 2 and then 3. We could try something like that. All right. We've got 3 out, don't need that anymore. 3 out, then 2 out next to this sort of brick, and then that should put, wait, what was I doing? 3 out, and then 2 out. Any more bricks? Bricks, gotta be some. There's a ton on this wall, let's grab that. This should do us for quite some time. This is literally half the mini builder's cantina. And then with another 3, just to make sure it's nice and secure, because there's nothing else holding this up. That should bridge the arch. This reminds me of the Skywalker saga, where you got the little lobby bit to get into the temple. Yeah, I don't think we want to. Do we want to continue that all the way up? I guess this will be all the way up. That's kind of supporting the front. Maybe we should have had this at the front. There's an idea. Because then that's holding everything up. Yeah, there we go. That's more like it. Maybe we do need 2 3s. Let's have a little look what we're dealing with. All right. 1 out of 4. Two, 3. 4. Hey, we got enough. What we need to do now is not destroy anything. I don't know if having a big hammer as a brick separator is handy in these scenarios. Yeah, maybe we can get one of those spare smaller ones that I was talking about. There we go. That should get it a bit better. And just pop. It's popping the plate up instead of the tiles. We only need to bring the tiles, keep everything else down. And the reason I am explaining myself is because it might seem odd why I've just taken up a bunch of 2x4 tiles to put, or 2x4 and 2x2 to put down 2 2x3s. but to keep with the pattern of the outside stripes, let's see if I can show off. There we go. You can't really see the line, but there's a line meeting up, and just stylistically, it works a bit better and frees up some 2x4s for the very roof that we'll be building. Oh, still not sure about how we're building that roof, but we'll be building that in just a second. Now we want to put this back down. I'm really, really intrigued. I hope we get turned into Count Dracula. 1, 2, not Count Dracula, close enough. Really intrigued about the Death Star, the UCS Death Star. Really intrigued about where that's going to go. I realised I didn't do the subscriber shout out at the start. Where were we? We've got, oh, here we are, because Joshua Melvin subscribed last week. Remember seeing that pop up on the screens. Hello there to Puedos. Hello there to Coffee Date. These will all be flying up on the screen for subscriptions and hopefully everything else. Hello there to Legend Bricks, and welcome to the channel. Oh, I think we've broken it. I think we've broken it already. No one's popping up. Hello there to Legend Bricks. Hello there to that Star Wars Man YouTube. Hello there to Nanya Business. It's quite a funny name. Adina Lima, and there we are. We are all caught up. Yeah, I've kind of broken that by taking a scroll back through. Oh, Death Star, that's what I was talking about. Really interested in getting a look at the Death Star, because so far we've got a few leaks, but I want images. I want to see what it's going to look like now. I don't want to have to wait for it. I'm very impatient when it comes to waiting. And then we've got another one of these. Maybe we could even get a clip in. I don't know yet what that clip is for. Maybe it's just for, you know, lights. Nope, lights are not going to fit there. Maybe it's going to be, maybe it'll have a patience. I'll take him now. What's it in Attack the Clones? We'll take him together. No, Revenge of the Sith. Remember, this time we stick together, and then Kenobi gets knocked out again. Both times Kenobi left Anakin. Maybe Anakin was good not... I mean, Anakin did kind of get knocked down the first time, but maybe Anakin was right not to wait and rush in, because Kenobi seemed to get knocked down both times. And weren't doing much in the Clone Wars. That's a really good fight between Dooku and Kenobi and Anakin. I can't remember what planet it is, but it's a really good fight when Dooku's putting Anakin on the defensive because Anakin preferred to attack, and letting Kenobi attack when Kenobi was Master of Sorsu, which is a defensive art, so didn't really know about attacking. Bit like Karate Kid. I've been watching Cobra Kai. It's a bit like Karate Kid. Right. Just need 2 1x1s. One 1x1. There should be another on the desk. There we go. And what we've done by putting this arch here is, even though the lobby is one big open space, which it is in the Jedi temples, we've used these pillars to why is this not look right? Why is this one taller? What's up with... Oh, I've put an extra brick in there. That's what it is. I hadn't even noticed it. Thankfully, no one in chat noticed it either. I got to fix that before anyone saw. Alright. There we go. And then we can secure that. I might want to secure that middle bit, but we can always add tiles. Secure these up with tiles. I'm pretty certain that's not going to work. Oh, wait. Got an idea. Do we have any... Nope. All right, idea out of the window. But what we can do, if we pop it off for just a second, is move that strip to the top and make the strip part of the decor. There we go. So this should move the strip out of the way. We know exactly where we're putting it. Does it fit? Oh, it's a close one. It fits. But that's going to help hold it up as well. That is awesome. Sometimes the numbers just work, and that must be a sign. Look how close that is. It's resting just on top of the tiles. We couldn't have asked for better numbers with it. We couldn't create. Is it oh, I think the Technic beam's out at the bottom. Let's just push that back in. There we go. Is it still? It looks like it will be tight. I might just have to remove. I think we might have to make that a 2x3 tile, which I'm now realizing we're using a lot of 2x3 tiles here. maybe we'll run out. I'm not sure I've got many of them in my own collection. Most of these tan pieces and most of the pieces we used for the city and the likes were from this set, so I'm not sure what other. Oh, I've got like the odd. Remove the wrong tile. Let's get this one out, and then we're looking for even more 2x3s. Do I? Oh look, we could add a little corner brick there. No, we can't, because that's a 1x3. Never mind, no corner brick. 2x3s. 2x2, 2x4, 2x4, 1x4, 2x4, 2x3s. Look at that, 3 of them here. Only need 2 of them. But if we need one later, we know where to look. Alright, we're getting some nice height to this temple. What have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Definitely the council room here. 6. And maybe if we build it up, we can give Palpatine a little throne room. Is there any angle? There are some wedges like we saw in the ATTE. Yeah. Oh, look at that. There's also does this element come? Does it come in the cantina? Does this element come in? No. Does it? No. Does it? Maybe. No. No, you. I can't find another one like it. Does this round element come in the canteen? I don't remember seeing this. That's throwing me off. And we also have one of these elements. Don't think we'll find a pair of them, but we could make a little square platform. There is a square in the middle, and then we get the giant towers, which is where Palpatine's throne is, where the Jedi Council are, the High Council. Now, I'm pretty sure there are other councils within the Jedi Temple. It's a bit like Old Republic. Don't forget to drink. Right. So we've got the floor for that. We should probably build up the other rooms. And the other wall. Mainly this one, round the back here. Do we have a 1x6? We have a wall. Let's see what bricks we got. I don't think any 1x6s come in this set, I'm afraid. We've got some 1x4s that fit perfectly. Not a lot of 1x4s. Oh no, there are quite a lot of 1x3s. So 1x3, hey, 1x4. There we go. That might be enough. We need another one of these. Did we not finish this earlier? I thought we did finish it. Clearly not. Make sure I'm not sticking my head too close to the camera. Four. 4, 4, 4? Oh. 4, 4, 3, 3. Just a bunch of numbers to anyone listening into this. We need some corners again. Oh. Need some corners again. We get 2 corners there. And then 1x2s. We could include some of these stickers. Half time, 1-0. Sounds like a pretty good performance. Right, 1x4. Any news on any Red Nose Day specials that we can bring here live to the world outside of the UK and Ireland, Britain. Pretty good game, like to see it. Do we have a corner? Any corner? Oh, I'll tell you what. There's probably a corner in the wall. I remember using... Oh, look. First bit, I lift up. We've got a corner. So, this is going to complete the bottom... This... I didn't pick up the Yavin Ceremony set. I already had most of the minifigures from it. And to be fair, the build itself didn't look like it had a lot to give. I'm going to... That 2x2 we spent years, it felt like, finding. I'm going to replace that for one of these grey strips just to make it a bit more secure in the middle. But I didn't pick up the Yavin Ceremony set. If this is what the Yavin Ceremony set feels like, I might have to pick that up. This is feeling nice and solid. I think this is a bit bulkier than it, especially with all the pieces we've used. I have to whack this one into Rubricable afterwards and just see how the piece counts differ, and also the average price of the bricks, because I suppose Lego are probably trying to get away with a load of the smaller. But this is what it starts to look like from the outside. We're going to be building up, make sure that's flat, building up this front tower. I'm wondering if we should have had an arch. The Jedi Temple is quite solid. We do want to add a splash of colour, be it brown. Oh, we have some brown tiles. We do have some brown tiles. All right. We've got 2 stripes. We've got one on the triangle angle. We're not going for the triangle angle. We could add a little extension down the road, but we could also... Are these evenly spaced apart? They look like they're 4, 4, 2. So we've got a stripe there and a stripe there. There we go. A stripe there. I guess we don't have the angle on the side, but we've also got a little bit at the bottom. Maybe we can add a bit more detail. How many of these? These are 1x6s. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, do I have more 1x6s instead of rooting the tub? I've got them in dark tan, but that's not going to contrast a lot. We need them really in dark reddish brown. No. I don't think I've got many, if any, spare. Let's have a look what else we've got. We've got... Oh, look at this. Look at this. 1x4s. I don't know if you can make it out, but there are a load of reddish-brown tiles in there. All right, we might be nabbing from there. Let's get this thing looking as good as we can make it. We've got... Let's add some markers. We don't want them all the way at the bottom. I'd say... We could probably even build it out towards the bottom. Does seem to have a little step to it. Would have been nice if Mos Eisley came with a few more slopes for this, but I don't think that's exactly what Lego were going for, if I'm honest. Maybe we can start it from the bottom. We've got 6, 12, oh, and then an extra 2. No problems. 6, 12, 18, 20. So 20 studs high. That is 5 times 4, but I don't know if we've got that many. Right, maybe we can do 1 stripe. What's that? 12, 18, 20, just 2 more. And then we only need 10. Only 10 Lego pieces. That doesn't sound too hard. And we might have more 1x6s. We shouldn't count them out, because these are from the benches. No, they're not from the benches. They're from the headboards on one of the couches. Oh, there we go. These pieces. There's the little headboards behind the chairs. There might have been one included on one of the benches. I don't think there was, because a lot of the benches had seats themselves. Nice bit of Lego ASMR. Unless you're wearing headphones, maybe. Might sound good with headphones on. Right, we got one. Can we get any? We just need one more. One more. 1x6. Oh. Hey, I think we've got one. I think we've got one. Oh, we got two. We got two. I don't. Oh, we got three. All right, I think I'm pushing my luck. I think 3 of them is all we're going to get from it. But the Jedi Temple, yeah, it has a little bit in the middle, and then it has 1, 2, 3, 4 others. So we're building up this, capping it off, building a little box in the middle for Palpatine's throne with a spire coming out of it, and then we'll have the spires are kind of in the corner here in the middle bit. Maybe we'll just do 3 spires. And the spires, we don't want them looking square, but we don't want them looking grey either. Sounds like snow. I think snow sounds pretty good. And we've got to work out a roof for this as well. Maybe this can be in a lighter tan colour, because we got a load of those wedge pieces. But first we need to build up these walls. Let's get all the other pieces we can. Try and start building it. I think our 1x3s are definitely going to be our best friends building up this side. I don't see many other. Maybe the corner elements. Maybe the corner elements. But especially as we approach forwards, we're not going to want to leave any gaps, which is going to be really hard to do. Doesn't sound like it, but I do think it's going to be quite complicated. Thankfully, we've got a load more bricks in. Oh, I don't know about a load. Yeah, we do have quite a handful. Let's get some out. Right. Oh look, there's a slope we were looking for earlier. Oh, need a double slope with another single slope. There are a few slopes. Let's angle that away from the light. Don't need that glare. No, thank you. Oh, we got snot bricks might help. Can always fake a wall with some snot bricks. Oh, we're gonna want another arch or something like that in the middle, no doubt. Maybe 2. Alright, this should keep us going for now. We can always top it up later on. And oh look, 1x6s. We were looking for those earlier as well. I think we were. I can't remember what that was for though. So they're going down first. I'm sure we won't need them later on. 1x4, 1x4, 2x4, 3. This is not how Lego bricks work. 4x4. That'd be a much bigger brick. Go more 1x3s. 1x3, 1x4 maybe. And that will just cap up. Look at that. Look at that reflection. Look at that reflection in the temple. I wonder if it is some form of, because we saw it with Indiana Jones, the only Indiana Jones movie besides Crystal Skull that didn't get a Lego set when Indiana Jones came back was Temple of Doom. And it was allegedly because we got a leaked set, but it was allegedly because of religious reasons, similar to Jabba's palace, where we don't get a tower or the big middle dome bit, I think it was. And I wonder if that is why we don't get a Jedi Temple. Because the Jedi Temple must have been, I mean, it must have been built after something. So I wonder if that's the reason we're not getting, as opposed to, you know, Lego not working with it or Lego not wanting to do it. I wonder if it is closer to the fact that it resembles something that Lego, you know, just can't make or don't want to make. Perhaps that's a path they don't want to take. Much like the carrier, there was an old Technic plane that got pulled from shelves. Well, it didn't get pulled from all shelves. It was meant to get pulled from shelves, because it was also used as a troop carrier, I believe. Some sort of troop carrier, or it was used in some sort of conflict at the time. It was one of the two. So Lego pulled it to stop any, not just for Lego's sake. Lego took the loss because they don't want to be advertising a vehicle that was used for something they didn't approve of, I guess. Oh, Kirk Christensen is to thank from that, quite literally, about Lego's not meant to represent any sort of guns or violence. Since then, we've got revolvers in the Western theme. We've had Nazi planes. We've had the whole load. But it's odd that, yeah, it's odd what is and isn't allowed through Lego. Not to criticize them. I mean, it's genuinely just straight up fascinating seeing what they're willing to make and what they're not. Right, 1x8. 1x8 brick. I must say, I'm not really liking the temple being all one solid block. So I don't know whether I keep opening the wrong tab first. And I guess the temple should also be built out just to the side. We definitely need to revisit this. Maybe we can make it a bit smaller, a bit lighter on bricks, and a bit thinner in the middle. But for the Mos Eisley alternate, this is turning out really, really cool. But there's definitely a few things I'd want to change, and there is a stripe also going up the middle. Speaking of stripes, we never put on our stripes. Let's get these on, see if these are reflected as well. So where are we going? Is that, yeah, 2 plates in, and then if we keep 2 tiles to each plate, just in case we do decide to switch something around later on. Make sure that Technic piece is in fully. Is it too much weight? Could be too much weight. We might need another Technic, or I might even need something as easy as a clip, just to hold it. Maybe not like that, but something like a clip, maybe a combination of a clip and a hilt. And then we've got 2 1x4s just slide in the top there we go. Gonna need to check out some more 1x4s as well. Make sure we've got enough. See ya. And then it's 4 studs, 4 studs, 2 studs in the gap. And again, there should be some sort of angle on the left and right hand sides, but because we're trying to make the most of the interior here, we don't want to block it up too badly. Too much. We're just gonna go with what we've got. Maybe we keep the top mostly open and just have 1 tower going up the middle. I don't know how I feel about having the top. Honestly, I don't know how I feel about having the top open at all, let alone open that much. But maybe that's something maybe that's something that will warm up once we see how this looks, especially for an alt build. Again, we're trying to. Okay, the tiles we're sticking down might not have been included in the original set. They might be. We just didn't realise. But I think chances are this will 1x6. So that's another 1x6 that was in the original set. Any 1x4s that aren't in a light tan? Did we get any reddish? Another 1x6. We'll add that to the pile. Maybe we can use 1x6s instead. Especially if there's any 1x2s. And would you look at that? We've got a 1x2 as well. I guess it works. You know, we're being fed these pieces. Let's use the ones from the set. We've got a 1x6, a 1x2, and not enough. Oh, look. It's holding itself up fine now. Let's keep going. All right. We got 4. We got 4. We don't have a corner. So could use a 1. Do we need to go out at this point? Can we stay in? We should be going out, but we should be going out with a slope. And if there's no more slopes, maybe there's a few, especially from the back. A load of these 1x2s. Can we not cash these in for two? No, two 2x2s. Can we cash these in for two 1x2s? Is that how Lego? Can we just get a saw and half them? Let's not destroy Lego. Another 2x2. Oh. All right, we've got one of them, but for this to be symmetrical, we're gonna need two of them. It's snowing again. We could cheat it a little bit. I've been saying a lot recently about Lego bricks can be built using separate pieces. We recently built the rock wall from the Geonosis doll, and instead of using a 1x2 slope piece, which I just shoved out of the camera, we can use a 1x1 snot brick and a 1x1 cheese slope to give the same effect. Not quite perfect symmetry. Yeah, it really doesn't do the job at all. That is horrendous. But in place of what we need... Are we on the same level here? Why do we have a gap down? Why do we have a gap at the bottom? Have I put this in? You can see on that left-hand side we've got... Oh, it does look like there's a little gap. Maybe it's the angle I was viewing at. Huh. I'll have to keep an eye on that. We could always go back and redo it. That's interesting. That still not slowing me down. E. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1x6? No. No, it don't. 1x6s. I don't know if I ever got onto what I was saying. Oh look, two more 1x1 bricks. I don't know if I ever got onto what I was saying earlier before I got distracted with the Death Star about the figures, or did we speak about the gift with purchase as well for the Death Star? Because if the gift with purchase relates to the Death Star, I'm doubling down on Force Ghost. 3 minifigures, 190 pieces, just like Smeagol and Deagle? No, it wasn't Deagle. Was it Deagle? Was it Deagle? Let's bring it back up. Smeagol and base plates. Nope, that's the otters. That's also... Oh, because it was the otters, wasn't it? But then we clicked on Smeagol and Deagle. It was Smeagol and Deagle, which I'm impressed with. I know it's floating on some blue bricks there, but with the background, it does look like it's floating. And I wonder if they're reused pieces, or if they are exclusive. Surely they've got to be exclusive minifigures. That fishing rod. Oh, it's one of the. Oh, I thought that was a little rope piece they got in the rod. That does look interesting, but much like Smeagol and Deagle, it's similar build. So it's pushing me towards an Endor build with trees and a little balcony. 3 Force Ghosts, because they're the only minifigures that are Death Star adjacent that aren't Death Star adjacent. Like they relate to the Death Star because of the second Death Star being destroyed. Hadn't made it into the master builders like Endor that we got a while back. I think it'll be a while before we get another Endor village. Wouldn't mind picking up an Endor village though. And I do think that would be a really cool gift with purchase for the Death Star. Obviously alongside Django. But if there's one group of fans that are really going to appreciate both Django Slave 1 and also not just the minifigures with that, but also some Force Ghost minifigures, I think prequel fans are the right way to go. Maybe they made that gift with purchase and was like, hold on, what do we do with Slave 1? Maybe they even bring it back for the Death Star. Maybe we get a Vader meditation chamber. Maybe we get a little office. Maybe we get another special later on for the Death Star. I'm interested to see, because we'll still get a gift with purchase towards the end of the year, especially if we get a Death Star anywhere near $1,000 or £1,000. So I wonder if we get the Force Ghost, we could get, we really could get anything. That's the fun and excitement building up to May 4th. We'll soon find out. But hopefully we'll find out here live as well. That'd be fun. Seeing the news break as we go live. Star Wars Celebration right before May 4th. I don't know how late these gift with purchases usually leak. I know usually by now we've got a good idea of what's in the advent, and LEGO have managed to keep that under wraps despite leaking that we're getting a Minecraft advent this year, or at least maybe. That's the rumour. That's word on the street at the minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this is the final layer. But we want to build it. Maybe we can go up one more. Maybe we'll do one more, just maybe. And the council chambers, yeah, we don't want to split those apart. So we'll just do another big wall there. Maybe make it seem like there's a bigger wall than there is. That's a fun idea. 1 by 3. 1 by 3. But I don't know when the gift with purchases leak. So they might leak over Star Wars Celebration weekend, which would be fun to look at. I won't be going live throughout Celebration. Yeah, I'm impatient for the advent calendars, not even the leaks. We got to wait till September to pick up these advent calendars, and chances are I'm going to be waiting until Christmas to open it again. Unless I pick up another advent calendar, I'll be waiting until Christmas to open it. I'm not sure I can wait that long. What we got? We need a 1 by 3, but do we need it 1 brick tall? Yep, okay. No two ways about that. Hold on. Hold on a second. Hold on. We've got 4x plates in the Master Builders series. UCS, no, MBS. Chalmers Cantina. I could have just said Cantina. I think we'd have all known what Cantina I was talking about. Not many in Star Wars. Right. So if we can have another like 20 of those. Alright, there's not 20 of them. There's not even another one of them, I don't think, in here. We've got a few more of these plates, which I guess can be swapped out for the darker tan versions. I'm a little surprised that there isn't another one of those plates. Like there's just none of them. But like I said, probably not going to be making instructions for this specific build, so we could be a bit more lenient with what we are using and aren't using for the set. From the set, here we are. I keep misplacing this drawer. So I think if we grab another 3 of these, we do have a few more in our collection if we need them. But to go along the full thing, we might need 4 on top of the one we've already got in the set. Being 5 all in all, we might just need that extra 4 by 8 plate to go along the top. But we're also going to need some more 1 by 3 bricks. I thought we had enough 1 by 3 bricks. Oh, corner brick. 1 by 3, 1 by 3, 1 by 3, 1 by 3. We'll grab an extra 2 just in case we need them and see what we can put together. As far as advent calendars go, last year's Marvel one didn't sell too well with the Spider-Man, but not at the Guardians of the Galaxy. And both times actually I was tempted to pick one up. Guardians I actually already had an advent because that's when I skipped out on the Star Wars one. Can't believe I did that. Chose Guardians over Star Wars. That's a mistake I won't make again. Happy I could actually pick it up for a decent price at 2022 advent. It opened last year. Thought I'd never get that. Especially with the exclusive piece. Alright, we've got a little roof building across there. You can't see it fully, but it starts one plate above the slope and finishes like 4 plates below it. So we're gonna need a little bit of support in the middle. It should be there. Oh, if I drop it, it goes even further down. Let's not do that. But we will build a little bit of support for that. Nice to know that we only need an extra 2 plates. Oh, it's by 8, isn't it? Do we have... We've got one 8x8 in light tan, and then we've got a few 6x8. Would be really handy to have another 4x8 here. Maybe I can try and nab another 8x8 in light. Oh, look, I got 8x8s in light tan coming out my ears. I got like 6 of them here. 6. All right, plus the extra one from the original set. Let's see what bricks we got, because this is the height, but we're building it a brick higher than the height, so we want even more light tan bricks. Let's see if we can cheat a little bit and grab some. Oh wow, I was not lying. I do not have any 1x4. I have a ton of 1x3s. Maybe they're from the side builds from around the master. Oh wait, no, it is master builders. Yeah, maybe they're from the side build. What do we think we're gonna get in the Minecraft? Minecraft have been doing a lot. For those of you that aren't aware, I don't know how worldwide this is. I just know in the UK we're getting some Minecraft adult Happy Meals that I'm really excited about. We're definitely gonna have to try those out. But I don't know if the rest of the world is as Minecraft mad as the UK seems to be right now. I'm sure there are a lot being done. But what do we think is going to come in the Minecraft Advent Calendar? The Star Wars one, we've already covered a little bit last year. I think over Christmas we spoke a lot about it. And I want to get some of those plushies, the Star Wars Christmas plushies, as actual minifigures. Even though I've custom made them, it'd be nice for Lego to do it. We want the 2 Christmas minifigures to be a gingerbread clone trooper and a like reindeer B1 or some sort of Christmassy festive B1. I think that would be cool. Maybe a Geonosis B1 battle droid. I think that was it. We got a gingerbread clone trooper, and to go with it, a Geonosis battle droid with antlers. Christmas Minecraft figures would be cool. I wonder... Oh, I tell you what would be cool. A Minecraft hat that goes on the square heads, but a Christmas hat. Creeper can be a creeper tree, and then we'll get like a Santa coloured Steve and Alex, maybe a few other figures in there. What about other mobs? What other mobs? We can get pigs with antlers, pigs pulling some sort of... Pigs pulling a minecart. Pigs pulling a minecart. Steve and Alex in the minecart. Creeper Christmas tree. That would be cool, especially if they top it with like some gunpowder element. Yeah, I like the sound of this. I wonder which Steve we'll get. We've got to get the classic Steve. We can't get Jack Black in an advent calendar. I think, especially given how well or not those sets do, I don't think it matters how well the sets are going to do. I mean, Lego have been planning this advent for a while now, so whatever we're getting whether we like it or not. But I don't see that new version of Steve making it sell any better. I think Lego need to go all in for this first advent calendar to really see if it's going to sell as well as the rest, because we've seen the Disney one, which seems to be sticking around with the Disney minis, like the mini figures, not just mini figures, they are mini figures. Emphasis on the mini. But I'm really interested to see what it holds. Definitely be picking up the Minecraft one and the Star Wars one, and maybe, just maybe, picking up another one if there's any good one. I don't know if the Marvel one will hold many. After getting, the Guardians and Iron Man, Captain America, the Avengers, I guess I should say, and a lot of the other Black Panther. After getting those figures, I have to say, for me personally, a lot of the Marvel sets have just not been tempting in any way, and I don't think that's anything against the sets. I do think that's just because I now own a lot of the figures that I wanted to own, and being in that position, you know, there's not many characters besides from those ones, the popular names, that really interested me that much. And I didn't know it until I got the figures, but certain sets like Iron Man's Laboratory or Iron Man's Lab, that looks cool, especially if they're going to turn that into a series. There's been a few others. But having already owned the figures, I don't know, maybe it's just Marvel in general. I don't know if there's any massive Marvel fans in the chat that can agree or not. I just feel like Marvel isn't piquing my interest. There you go. It's not piquing my interest as much as, you know, Star Wars and all the better themes. All right, reinforcing this roof as well. Might leave that we can't wonk it. We got to put it on straight. If it needs more, we can give it some more. This should fit just on top here. Slightly annoying that we're going with tan and dark tan as the color scheme with a bit. I like the brown actually. That can warm up on it, you know. Maybe we can even leave this little lip here because we're going to be tiling them off. We still need to fill in that space. Look how solid this is. So, swooshability, we spoke. Why is this? This looks like the interior of like Jabba's palace. Oh, this is going to look awesome. But swooshability, we speak about a lot for Lego Star Wars ships. I think swooshability should apply to more than just Lego Star Wars ships and should also apply to the models. Can it be swooshed around without falling to pieces? A lot of the interior when we fill this is going to go everywhere if I do that, so you won't be seeing that on the video. But can it be swooshed around? Because a Lego model is going to be carried, you know. It's not going to be like a Lego City. A Lego City, I think, is the exception to swooshability. If I was to swoosh that around, I'm not even sure the Mills plate would hold together because none of those buildings are actually secured to each other. They're just slid on top, all tiles connecting them and some plates holding them on the inside. But when it comes to a play set, you want to be able to play with it. What if, rebuild the galaxy style, the Jedi Temple thinks, you know what, don't fancy Coruscant. It's been raining a lot on Coruscant, you know. I want to go to Tennu. Lifts off and just flies away, picks a different planet, and Sandcrawler style just evacuates, or maybe goes on the run, goes on the offensive. Who knows what can happen with a Jedi Temple that can fly? I've seen it all. A Jedi Temple that can fly. If that isn't comic relief, I don't know what else you were expecting. I was expecting Kenobi. Why are you here? Oh, that's some good Clone Wars content. We've got to get some Clone Wars figures as well in this build. We've got High Republic, Old Republic, Clone Wars, prequels, original trilogy with Palpatine's throne. Want to fit maybe Kylo Ren with Windu's saber, something like that. Kylo went to Mustafar. You can't be telling me Kylo didn't go to Coruscant. Originally, Kylo was going to fly to Coruscant and there'd be these giant wolves attacking. Perhaps that's... Oh, maybe that... No, because this was episode 9, so the wolves would have been in Rebels. Wolves and the Force have quite a strong connection through Rebels and Kanan. And wolves are just cool. There's no reason. You don't need a reason to include wolves. Wolves are cool. So if Star Wars was to bring in any more wolves, I think we'd all be down for that. But let's first... I wonder if we can get away with building a column that's not as thick as the bottom so it still feels like it comes in. Can anyone remember how we built the bottom columns? Oh, they're right there. Oh no, they're not only just right here, but we've also got this brick in the wrong way around. Where's this come from? This wasn't up here. What? Make sure that's in. Where did this? Was this just laying around? I could have sworn that flew off somewhere there. But yes, I have made a mistake with it. With the Christmas Advent, I wonder if they'll give us another Christmas gonk, because I don't think we got one. We did in 22. Then that was... Where are my gonks? So we did in 22, and then we also got a Christmas reindeer gonk the year after 23. Last year we didn't get a Christmas gonk. I was hoping for a nice gonk, and Lego didn't deliver. Very rarely we can say that. Doesn't feel like it, but it is very rare for Lego not to deliver, especially on like an Advent or something. And yeah, it's about time for another Christmas gonk, I think. We've got a reindeer. We've got a snowman. We're getting a Christmas tree. We get Christmas tree creeper. Oh no, we've had a Christmas tree astromech. I thought I was missing a gonk then. I'm gonna say I can't have every gonk and miss a Christmas. Maybe a Christmas tree gonk. Oh, a green gonk with a few lights on it. They've done an astromech, so it might be too close to that. I'd be down for a Christmas tree creeper and a Christmas tree gonk. I think that sounds pretty nice. Oh look, we found a 1x2. Maybe I can swap that out. That is just on the top row. It does seem we've used up all of those pieces, but how many pieces do we need? Because this is 3. No, we do need 4, don't we? We could use some of these actual bricks just to mix it up on the next floor. And I know we have some of the other ones. We got some more bricks as well. I'm pretty sure. Oh, here we are. We just need some 1x2s. And this is just going to give us that support we were talking about earlier, supporting the roof that went over the top. And this is going to be exactly what that does. Can we find the brick that we just had and one more brick? Just to give us... Oh, and we also should probably do something about this massive gap over on this side. Again, pretty easy to build. Did we not already build this side? Am I going crazy after, what, like 2 hours? 2 and a bit? 1x4. We've got another little bit up there. But we're looking for a masonry brick. We love a good masonry brick. One by 4 snot brick. We could use that to put something on the wall. Haven't thought of what. Maybe this is the meditation chamber, because they did have... Do we have a 1x1 in brown? The meditation chamber did have a little something going around the outside. I think it had like shutters that came down, but it also had some form of like rim that went around. So we could... I'll tell you what. I'm pretty sure there's meant to be a 1x1 in reddish brown. Oh yeah, look. There we go. It was on one of the chairs. Knew I remembered it. I didn't remember it. Lucky guess. But with this slotting in here, we've also got a few 1x4s that, if placed correctly, can continue this pattern around the front and just across. I might raise... Oh no, I guess that'd be quite a decent layer to fit them. Maybe we should have gone with a 1x6 at the end there. Or maybe we can use this to hook it. Yes, look at this. Nope. Yes. Does that fit? Does that fit? You're not giving me a lot of confidence. No, it's pulling it back. Well, we can still include it. We'll just flip it upside down. And that would just stop it running away at any time soon. We're also making this very, very heavy. It would be nice if we got another little clip or something in the top there, but we can sort that out later on. So this is the designated dedicated meditation chamber, which means we're going to need a little stool for Yoda to sit on. Do we actually have these elements? I think these were modifications I made to the set, but we'll have a little stool for Yoda to sit on here, and then we'll have one for Anakin. I feel like Anakin should probably be a bit taller just over here. So then the two of them, maybe we should even block up the wall. I do feel like blocking up the wall. Maybe if we got one of the light tan plates and those snot bricks that we keep finding all over the place. I feel like we're finding them all over the place. There's got to be at least another one because they were holding up the 1x6 tiles that we were working with. No, none. I guess there were a lot of these as well. A lot of these brackets, but will this fit? No, we need. Oh, we need a wedge. Something like this. Too much. Oh, not if we remove that. And then flip it. That way we can get the, maybe we can even get a stripe continue on the back of this. Oh, get some tiles going up that. We need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 before we dip. Well, they're in twos, so that's 1, 2. That's not going to work. Well, we can at least build a little wall that can be detached. Detached. Said that funnily, I did. Speak like Yoda right now, I am. There we go. Look, we got a nice little detachable wall in there, which doesn't perfectly fill it up, but I think it closes off the space for what we need to do. So that is quite nice. Let's bring back our Jedi Temple. All right. I think it's looking pretty well. It's definitely missing the spires on top. We want to get some spires on top, and I don't want to use 2x2 bricks. Maybe we can go for like a little, maybe cantina it. You know what we're building here? We're building the Tatooine Jedi Temple, aren't we? If a Jedi Temple existed on Tatooine, we so need to whack an arch in the middle of this and make this into a Tatooine Jedi Temple. We could Coruscant it up. I don't know if I've got enough of the round bricks to do. Oh, yes. Oh, 2? Oh, 1 and a bit. We will take it. Let's make sure we're not taking too much, though. Put those back. Right, so there are big... Alright, that's our big spire, singular. And then... How are we going for... How big is the big spire compared to these little spires? Because we could get away with something like these, because they're right in the corner. Whoa, no, they're not right in the corner. They're annoyingly... Ah! Didn't mean to open Star Wars. No, they are in the corner. I'd say 4. If we could go up 4 bricks, they're about the same height as the actual level of the temple, so we probably should be going up about 7 bricks. But because this is Lego and we're allowed a little bit of freedom with it, I think if we go up 4, we'll see how many we can find. Can we afford 4? Yeah. Nope. Maybe. You're not tan. A lot of yellow. You can't be yellow. There we go. So if we go up 4, and then the middle builds up 4 and 4 again. We're not getting Palpatine's throne in there though. But we are getting a pretty cool tower. And then we want a bigger dome. Do we have a bigger dome? We have a gold one. Do we not have I feel like the moisture evaporators should probably... Oh, we do have, before we use too many custom pieces, we do have moisture evaporators, don't we, in here? But I do think these are going to look just as good, if not better, than the moisture evaporators. So we've got our 2 little... Maybe they're too little. Let's see if we do 2 and 2. So it'd be something like this and something like this. Don't worry, YouTube, we're not building anything inappropriate. Don't demonetize this stream, please. And then there we go. Now we've got some double height spires. Yes, I'm liking the look of this. Do we have a tip? Yes, we do. Oh wait, this isn't double. It's just bigger than double height. I think that works. It gets the point across. And yeah, this is our final piece. So we're not done yet. We've got a little interior to plan out. Oh, and the masonry brick. I can't remember what I was talking about, but I hadn't mentioned something and went to the masonry brick, and then I completely got sidetracked. Do we have more than 3? Surely. Do I have any to stop me looking? I don't think I do of that colour. No. Oh. Right, do we need to rethink? Or do we have just like a dark tan 1x2, isn't it? There we go. No Jedi Temple is perfect. But if Lego were to make a temple, I'm sure it'd come pretty close. I'm sure by flattering Lego before they make it, we can get one sent here to the channel. Maybe. Alright, do we want it? We don't want it pulled in too much, so it's not going to work 360. But let's face it, most of this temple isn't working 360. There we go. That looks a bit more like the Coruscant Temple we know. England 2-0 Kane! Hurricane! Nice. I wonder how Comic Relief is going. Should we have a little... Have they done anything for Doctor Who? Anything good hitting the news? 5 days of marathons. I could not do that. Oh, it stirred. We won't take the hardcores or anything. But so the total stands of 2 minutes ago, £17.5 million raised. Do you think we could nab that for a YouTube headline? Maybe. Maybe that's pushing it for a title. Killing younglings for charity, 17.5 million raised. I think that might be pushing it. England 2-0, 2 goals as well. Yeah, I'm not too sure about that. Oh, I've skipped back to the start of my own stream. I wonder why it looked a bit odd. Snoopy popped back up. Right, just got 1 wall to go, and then we'll start planning the interiors. What do we need? What is it? 4 and 2s or 3 and 3s? Well, kind of need a 4 and 2 to start it off. Or 3 2s. Hey, 3 2s, 2 3s. And hope we don't run out of 2s later on, because we'll be revisiting that. We also could put an arch in the front. I am torn. Let me know what you think. Should we put an arch in the front? Do we need an arch at the front of the temple? A bit like Tennu Temple. You know, this temple's meant to be massive. The doorway would realistically be a bit of a stud, but it's got the arch in the middle. Should we put an arch in the middle of this temple so we can have Anakin and my drawful of 501st behind me marching through? I think that could be quite cool. High Republic one side, Old Republic the other. We got Qui-Gon Kenobi, Anakin with the Phantom Menace Council. That might be the easiest to brick build. And then we've got Anakin and Yoda from Revenge of the Sith. I think it's the start of that. I can't say it's Attack of the Clones. And then, what scene from Attack of the Clones? We could have some Attack of the Clones figs on the bottom floor. We'll think about that later. Did we finish the wall? No, we didn't finish the wall. Arch or no arch? That is the question. As far as the top, I don't mind it not told off. The colour discrepancy, yeah, is bugging me a little bit. I would be lying if I said it didn't. But, why is this one staying? And this, oh, is it staying? Is it weighted down too much? Do we need some tiles on the bottom? That would be perfect. We've got a million of these 2x4s. If we can get a tile holding up, because a plate didn't work. I'm not sure. Let's take a look. I'm not sure that this is. I also don't know why that one's floppy. This one is held in solid and also fits a tile at the bottom. Oh dear, what have I done on this side? It looks to be in all right. So what's not connecting? Is that the same height? It looks it, so it should have no problem with a 2x4 tile, unless, of course, we run out of 2x4 tiles. Then, yes, we've got a problem. But we haven't, so we don't yet. We don't yet. Oh look, a little 2x2, and then, so at the bottom of the stripes, at least on the ground floor, that's where we have the little doorways and the different little bits. So by putting these tiles down here, we've now got little doorways into the temple. Still need a little hole in the middle here, or at least a little arch. But it's better than nothing. At least there's some way, even if you have to crawl down to the size of a brick, there's some way in and out of the temple. And then what that will do when we put it down is hold the walls nice and firmly together. Oh, that is improving. That little touch, just that little touch is improving it so much. I think I'll be probably breaking this down for, well, breaking this front bit down for an arch. I think I will be putting an arch in there. So our boy Annie and his 501st can go in, slaughter the younglings, just like he's meant to, because that's how the Force works. If it's meant to happen, it will be. You know, Qui-Gon said something like that. Just let younglings be slaughtered. Qui-Gon didn't say anything like that. I don't know where I was going with that. I really don't know. Qui-Gon would have said, though, something like that. What would be a Qui-Gon way of putting it? Not younglings. We forget about those. That we can't forget about those. But Qui-Gon says something. Yoda says, "Always in motion, the future is," something like that. And my ally is the Force, and a powerful ally it is. I think that's Yoda as well. What's Qui-Gon say? Qui-Gon's got so many really good quotes. I've just blanked them all. Can't think of a single one. Not very good. Like a bit of Qui-Gon. We got the meditation chamber, so we should probably get our Yoda and Anakin minifigures. Which Yoda do we use? We've got to use prequel Yoda, don't we? And the perfect P. Oh, don't tell me I don't own them in turn. Oh no. Or am I using? Oh no, I got two. Perfect. I only need two. What we're gonna do is what the Lord of the Rings and those sets do for minifigures. When they are seating down short-legged minifigures, which I'm gonna say it right now, this is not a good technique. If Lego do want to bend the legs of short-legged minifigures, they should just give us these midi legs, because adding that extra plate on the end makes them the same length as those legs. And are hobbits really that short? Yes, but hobbits are like Grogu height in Lego scale. So what we're going to do instead is connect some of these snot bricks to it. And it does make Yoda look like he has some really round cheeks on the back, which thankfully you can't see too well, so I won't have to censor those after after streaming. But we can then sit Yoda down on a chair, not quite the cushiony one that he has in Revenge of the Sith. I really hope it is Revenge of the Sith. And then we want to grab an Anakin Skywalker, which we do get a better one from the Ahsoka ship, but this one is from the Mustafar doll. And Anakin's not looking very pleased. I mean, he's not Sith Eyes angry in this scene. But Anakin sat in the meditation zone with Yoda, and that's one room done. We also said about getting the young Jedi in here. Do we include Nash? I don't know. I feel like because Nash isn't a Jedi, wasn't present with this scene, maybe we can leave Nash out of it just for now. But we do have the 3 younglings just inside here, speaking with Master Yoda, probably ready to go on a journey to Tanu, and then the rest is history. Well, at least the next 2 seasons are history. So we've got the 3 younglings there with Yoda. Oh no, we've put the younglings next to Anakin. What have we done? The younglings are next to Anakin. No. Anakin, no. That's what Qui-Gon says. Anakin, no. Yeah, I'd start panicking if I were they. But we're going to have Anakin in the 501st. Also from Revenge of the Sith and the meditation. We've got to have the do we have the meditation? Who else? Who else can be meditating? Maybe the Anakin Kenobi flashback from Kenobi. We've got to recreate that in this scene. All right, where's Anakin and Kenobi? I know I didn't put them back. We've got our Kenobi. We've got our Anakin. Both blue lightsabers. Am I right in saying both blue lightsabers? This is pre-Revenge of the... Pre-Attack of the Clones. Is it pre-Attack of the Clones? I feel like it is. Calmer time for them both to be practicing. Better than in the Clone Wars. Alright, both of these are right-handed. Anakin's not yet lost his hand for the first time that we know of. Maybe he did. We've got Anakin and Kenobi dueling from the Kenobi flashback scene. Again, great series if you haven't watched it. We've got Young Jedi Adventures. Anyone else in chat want to throw out any? We've got Anakin in the 501st as well. Can't forget about that. We do not have another Anakin. No, we do have another Anakin minifigure. Where's our other Annie gone? Oh no, that is our other Anakin minifigure. We might have to rethink the meditation. Maybe we can have the Old Republic Jedi sit in the meditation room, especially because we're going to want Yoda for the council as well, and we can't have Yoda in the council as well as the meditation room. Do we think that the soldiers, the non-clones, would be allowed? I don't think we include the soldiers, but we could throw in another Jedi. We've got Old Republic in the meditation room. We've got High Republic down there. We've got the Kenobi flashback. We have Anakin. I guess Anakin represents the start of the Imperial era, marching on the temple with his 501st. Definitely need to open up that archway. Then we'll have the council with... Who should we have on the council? We could really make this council our own, or we could go for accuracy. And I'm kind of leaning towards making this council our own. Let's take off the rare hairpiece and put on the old hairpiece for Qui-Gon. Qui-Gon, Kenobi. Where's little Annie? We need a little Annie. Yeah, we'll keep him in his helmet. This is what Lego's about. Having a bit of fun. Still in his pod racing gear, where he's just been nabbed off Tatooine. He's basically still on Tatooine with the cantina pieces. So we've got Yoda, we've got Windu. Ki-Adi-Mundi can stay down. Who likes Ki-Adi-Mundi? Not me, clearly. No one here likes Ki-Adi-Mundi. After his war crimes on Geonosis, after all the stuff he did to Ahsoka, no one likes Ki-Adi-Mundi. I don't. I think I make that pretty clear as well. 12 Jedi Masters on the council in the Phantom Menace. All right, we've got Plo Koon. Oh, we need to add Plo Koon. We need a seat for Plo Koon. We've then got Windu, got Yoda, got Ki-Adi-Mundi, got Sassy Tin. Sassy tin. I know we've got a sassy tin. Let's not use the Clone Wars one though, because that's a bit. Yeah, that's a bit. Clone Wars sassy tin is a bit. Oh, hi. Yes, the Jedi. Oh, well, do we use the Clone Wars one? No, we can't use the Clone Wars one. We got to use the proper. But the Clone Wars, but the robes. I don't think I have brown arms. You know what? We're using Clone Wars arms with non-Clone Wars rest of, and then we've also got wandering through from Tales of the Jedi in this bottom right here. We will. I don't have a Yaddle, and I don't actually. I could use a spare Yoda head, I guess, for a Yaddle. Does that look like Yaddle? Or is this coming across a bit racist because they're the same species? No, it's not really white or grey hair, it's brown hair. Maybe we should 3D print a Yoda head. Yoda window. And yeah, I don't think I have any of the other Jedi anyway. Oh, you know, so, oh, Evan PL. I got PL. We could add Evan PL. Maybe running a bit late to the meeting, you know. Maybe just standing, judging Qui-Gon behind. That seems quite daunting, even for the Jedi. That's quite daunting. All right, I think I am going to move these back onto the other roof just so we can pop off this one and get ourselves a better look. Come on, all in one. Lovely jubbly, not even a piece. Oh, and a slope. Make a Yaddle using Yoda and Rey's hair. You know what? That might have just been a throwaway comment, but that's a good idea if you can mash a hairpiece. There's got to be a hairpiece that goes on Yoda. What I'm going to have to look at is 3D printing Yoda's hair, but merge Rey's hair. Let me just make a note of that, because that might actually work. All right, Yoda, Rey. There we go. That might work. That might be decent. What are we going to do for seats? So we did have a nice design for the city, quite basic, but I feel like a lot of these chairs are quite basic anyway. I don't know if we can pull up an image. Jedi Council chairs. That's the good thing with 3D printing, I will say, when it comes to Lego. Being able to make custom pieces, like if we really wanted to. Yaddle using Yoda's hair. No, Yaddle using Yoda and Rey's hair. Whacking it on the 3D printer. And going hand with it. Right, Yoda's sitting on the left of window. Good thing we've got these jumper tiles to separate the two of them. Don't want any arguments here. But what about the droid attack on the Wookiees? What about your attack on Geonosis? As you can tell, I'm not a big Ki-Adi-Mundi fan. Mainly because of Clone Wars, I'll admit. Oh, perfect. Alright, so we want Windu. Windu's in the corner. Windu, Yoda. So Yoda sat there. There we go. Windu, Yoda, Ki-Adi-Mundi, Sassy Tin. What were you doing for the other chairs? We could go with regular chairs. I feel like we shouldn't here on the channel. So many people have tried to brick build these chairs, but the chairs just aren't that big. We need maybe some bracket work. Some bracket work could work if we find some reddish, some dark red brackets. Or do we just flat out go with some red? Let's have a little look. All right, we're straying away from the cantina here, but this is for the interior. This is more important than just going with a flow. We could use red. I have some red corner tiles that can make Yoda's seat red. And we've gone with brown on the outside, so we're not ruining any sort of dark red theming. And also, I think in Lego form, we see it with the Firehawk. The Firehawk here isn't meant to be, but as the seasons and shows go on and the animations get a bit more detailed, it's more of like an orangey tint and a bit rusty and made to look a little more Millennium Falcon-y, I guess, in a way as well. So we don't have to stick with that and make these all like darker red chairs. We can go with bright red. And I'm seeing 3D prints of some, are they not life size, are they? 1:6 scale Jedi chairs. And they're looking pretty cool. So what we can do is go with some red brackets because we can add the grey sides. By the looks of it, Sassy Tin, Kiadi-Mundi, and Windu all have the exact same chair, and Yoda and Yaddle were the only ones in the smaller one. I don't. Oh yeah, there is a few different chairs. They all seem to be the same. So we're going to be building 3 Jedi chairs. Let me show you all the pieces we will need for that, and hopefully I don't forget about any. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Full time 2-0. Come on, England. Maybe instead of using, I'll tell you what, take that back. We're only going to need 6 of these, and we're going to need 3 of the bigger ones for the back. I do have these in dark red, but we're sticking with that nice red colour theme. They are the, yeah, had to check they were the right brackets then for a second. Get 3 red 1x. Where did you go? Oh, all the way down here. Didn't even notice that. We need 3 red 1x2s. And are we going light grey or dark grey? I like the light grey of those 3D printed ones. So we're going to go with 6 1x2 light bluish grey. No. Should we go dark bluish grey? I think light might make the red too light. So we're going to go with dark bluish grey. And then we're going to need 3 2x2 dark bluish grey tiles. So just to recap, we've got 6 of those first smaller brackets, 3 of the bigger brackets. We've then got 3 1x2 red tiles. We've got 6 1x2 dark bluish grey tiles and 3 2x2 dark bluish grey tiles. And if you followed along with that, you will have no problem building this entire thing from scratch with one watch through of this stream, because it's a lot to follow through with. But we're going to grab 2 of these. You can't really see that. Let's see if we can adjust the light a little bit. Let's see if we can make it look a little bit. Hopefully that helped. Yeah, you can see a little bit better now. But we've got 2 of these brackets, these 1x2 brackets, and we're going to add the bigger brackets on top. Should we do it below? No, we're going to do it on top of that and the tile just down the front. It looks like a red blob, but it's about to change when we add the 2 grey 1x2s on either side and the 2x2 just on the back. And here we go. We've got a very quick, kind of simple, not as simple as some of the other builds, I guess. You could brick it out with actual bricks. But here we've got a very detailed, I guess, Jedi chair. Almost a little Jedi throne that we are going to levitate with one of these tan plates, just so it's the same height as Yoda's little chair. And that chair, I believe, is for Mace Windu. So let's go ahead and stick Mace straight in his chair, where he can tell Anakin that he has a seat on the council, but does not have the rank of Master. It's a bit too soon for that. This is from Phantom Menace after all. So just again, 2 of the smaller red brackets held together by a bigger bracket and the tile with the 3 grey tiles surrounding it. And actually, I'm surprised I didn't do this for the city. We could have fit a 4th Jedi Master in there instead of just the 3 of them. Didn't realise Sassy Tin was just over to the side. We're only going to need a plate for one of these on the left-hand side with said Jedi Master, Sassy Tin, sat in, because the other one already has that 1x4 for Kiadi-Mundi. Not that Kiadi-Mundi really deserves a seat, maybe. As much as I give Kiadi-Mundi slack, I'm not going to take any of it back. I mean every word I say, but I think getting a holographic, or like a hologram Kiadi-Mundi, a trans-light blue Kiadi-Mundi from the Droid Attack on the Wookiees would be really cool. Lego need to sort out translucent Force Ghost-like minifigures just so we can get some of them. And look, you can't, oh, you haven't even seen it. You can't really see it too well. Look how awesome that looks. Sorry about that, Qui-Gon. Look how cool that looks. I don't know why. Oh, Windu's one forward. Have I put that on the wrong? Yeah, there we go. There we go. Now the council feels like it's pushing into the centre a bit more. 4 seats and Evan PL just standing off to the side. Maybe PL can stand next to Sassy Tin so the council feels like a united front. Look at that little Jedi council room. This is coming along so well. I'm so happy with how this is turning out. And then we've got Qui-Gon, who is, you know, performing his plea to the maybe Anakin should be in the middle. This is when he's being tested out. What should we give Yoda? A little hand. What is it he holds? A little, like a tablet. Let's just do that with a frying pan stud and a trans blue 1x1. But if we got this from Lego, we could get something like this, but in its own modular parts. And I do think, hold on, is it Yoda that holds? I don't think it's Yoda that holds the pad. I think it's Mace Windu that holds the pad. I'm sure you'll all be telling me in comments when we don't change it for the original video because I forget to check. But Yoda can hold it for this. And we've got, I guess, Qui-Gon and Kenobi. Qui-Gon didn't want a seat, but Qui-Gon can be off to one side, Kenobi just behind. And there we go. We have the council room done. And then we've got Dooku and a younger Qui-Gon off to the side. Could even throw in another Yoda minifigure. Do we have any other Jedi? Really want to add like Ahsoka or yeah, someone. Maybe we can add like a Kenobi, but with his back to it. Kenobi flashback, Phantom Menace, Revenge of the Sith. I guess kind of Attack of the Clones as well. High Republic, Old Republic. We do need a Tales of the Jedi. If Lego aren't giving us a Tales of the Jedi, let's do it ourselves. And perhaps we can find. Let's have them walking and talking. Do we have another Jedi? We have Barriss Offee. We can perhaps slide in there. I guess Tales of the Jedi and Tales of the Sith hiding out in the background. Oh, that's a good idea, because even though Barriss weren't around at this time, I'm sure there was another of a similar species or something that maybe even the animators threw in the background and we didn't notice. Look at that. That is a very good idea, hiding out. And then we just need to fill this middle bit with a ton of 501st. So let's pack it full of 501st Troopers before we round off this stream. Should only take like 10 minutes or so, right? Cut forward to us here still in more than 10 minutes time. 1, 2, 3, 6. We could get 6 more tiles in. But that is, if we have 6, there's 2 here already. That's 1, 2. 3. 4. 5. Come on. Come on. Come on. 6. There you go. I'm very happy we got there quickly. I don't think I took a deep enough breath to hold that S for a while. Alright. Let's not collapse in the roof. Just... Oh no. Killed Kenobi. Too soon. Kenobi's not meant to die yet. That's the Death Star. That's for the giant Death Star MOC we'll probably be making later on this year. If we built... Oh. How many... Are there any big sets? I don't think Cloud City would be too great at building something like a Death Star. Oh, we killed Kenobi again. Stay alive. Stay alive, Kenobi. Yeah, Kenobi can stay in there. So that still looks pretty good. So I wonder if there's any sets that have a load of grey pieces that can be used and like make a decent, kind of like this, a decent Jedi Temple using Mos Eisley Cantina. I wonder if there's any sets like this that can be used for the Death Star. We'll have to put that to the test later this year. And it's annoying me that there's not any 1x4 tiles on the end here. So we're going to add that. That's a 1x6. That's what I want. I'm going to add that to smooth it off just a little bit. Secure those in place. And here we have our Jedi Temple. Am I Am I confident with this? Yeah, I'd say so. Pretty happy with how it's turning out. So for now, we might add a few pieces in just a second, and we are going to want to modify it for the arch. Oh, I don't know how this is going to go. But for now, let's clear all of these away. Get all of these off the desk so we can take a nice look at it. Oh, kind of need that one. Don't steal Yoda's legs. I'm sure there's a few pieces that aren't meant to be in here. But all of these plates, which this mostly is, are just going to be sorted out at some point. This is going to go into my backlog of things to sort alongside that 8080 that I still haven't broken down since like forever ago. I don't remember when it was we got that. But take a look. I'll put the red nose back on. I think it's time to put it back on. England won. England shirt staying on. And we're red. Why didn't I think of putting this shirt on earlier? We are red for Red Nose Day. Again, I think I left the link in the description if you do want to donate to Red Nose Day. Don't know if it accepts payments outside the UK, but it's worth a try. If not, just give it a check out because it is quite fun. There are some really cool events. If you're into sport, there are a lot of sporting events as well. Even if you're outside the UK, you can still give it a check. Yeah, it's looking Jedi Temple from the sides, I must admit. This, not good. Not liking this. I am not a fan of the wall. So let's get rid of it. Easiest way to go is... Oh no, don't tell me this isn't easy. All this hard work. 3 hours. 3 hours of work. It's not that bad when you think about it. Most of the builds, I mean the 8080 and dropship, I'm still working through version 1, 2, 3. We'll call it version 5 probably of the 8080 and dropship since Saturday. It's not even been a week. Happy Red Nose Day. Ah, thank you. Jolol. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're enjoying. But how much space do we need? Yeah, I'm still working on a lot of the different builds from previous streams. I don't think we make this too big. We just got to make this big enough for Anakin. So we could, yeah, I think we do 6 bricks tall. So we can get Anakin and all the 501st marching through the gates. So let's just start crumbling it like a crumble cookie. And breaking off side bits too. Let's see how far. Oh wow, this thing is built solid. Why did I do such a great job? Took me own horn much, but this is not easy to break apart. We just need to swap this. Oh, and swap it, and don't fall apart. All right, you up there. Then another 1x3. Yes, 2 1x3s to save the day. See, 1x3s. If we've learned anything this stream, is that red noses aren't meant to be worn for 3 hours or an hour by me. And I think it's mostly the looking down I'm doing that isn't helping and making it quite hard to see. But also, when it comes to mock building, look at that perfect fit. It's like a satisfying video if I get the right angle. Fits perfectly. When it comes to mock building, 1x3s, even more 1x3s. 1x3s are our best friends. No matter what anyone says, always trust a 1x3 to get the job done, and maybe on occasion a good 1x1 as well. Hopefully we got some of them laying around. It's come to the final stretch. Look at that. 2 of them paired up together. They were asking to be used on this build. 2 1x1s, 2 1x4s, and to finish it off, not 2 1x3s, I'm afraid. We've had our last 2 1x3s, but 2 1x2s, or 1 and a split. All those 1x4s that we got rid of for the arch. I didn't realise we went so 1x4 heavy at the start of this video. Could have perhaps used a few more 1x3s if we had any lying around. Do we not? No, that's not. That's got a clip on it. That's got a clip on it. That's got an unclip on it. A clip on it. Clip on it. Hey, we got there in the end. And now, just before we put all of the single plate back, because we've only used 1 single plate for it, it is time to clear those aside and bring out the boys in blue, aka the only clone legion you need to know about if you like Star Wars. Because the 212, my nose gets so sweaty in these noses. 212 is kind of, especially in Clone Wars, it plays a big point. 212, I'm trying to think. Revenge of the Sith, we've got Utapau. I guess kind of. No, I still feel like the 501st are the big legion. We'll have Anakin stand it. Maybe we should robe Anakin up, but let's, at the very least, find a blue saber for Anakin to wield with his Sith eyes. Let's bring his Sith eyes out. He was a bit angry marching into the temple, given like the whole Jedi betrayal and all that. And let's arm up the 501st. If it's the last thing we do, if you don't hear from me tomorrow, and we're not running late for the stream, hopefully not again. We weren't today, but we were on Wednesday. Then it's the 501st. They have gone wild and started attacking. How'd they march? They carry their guns. Do we have them Lego style? Do we have their blasters down a little bit? Do we have them marching? Yeah. Let's have them marching. So this comes in at the front, 2, 3. But this will be the front. So we just got to remember at the front there are 2. This is, look at this 501st trooper. He looks happy as Larry. He does. And Larry looks very happy. Are they too cheery to be marching along like that? Oh, they are way too cheery. Maybe this 501st can also... Nah. Can they go out one more? Or should they come in? I think they should probably come in. And then we'll just fill the middle with some empty nothingness. Alright. 501st are like the top legion. So I'm going to assume if any of these clone troopers are left-handed, like myself, that they're holding their weapons in their right hands anyway, just to make everyone else look good. And we've got a few non-regs as well amongst the bunch, like there was attacking the temple. They just sent everyone because the Jedi really... If the Jedi had gone rogue, the Republic was done for. I don't think many clones... If they didn't have the element of surprise and, you know, had the Jedi gone rogue, they would have been expecting to be found out any minute, I'm sure. But I don't think marching clones in, maybe with Anakin, it'd be a bit different than with anyone else. But I don't think this was going to do too much. So there was a lot of faith put in Anakin here, and the 501st in general. But Palpatine saw what they got done during the war, so I don't think Palps was too worried. Do you? I don't think Palps was quaking in his boots. He was the Senate after all. Definitely. After building Geonosis, I really want to put that spinning jump action into a Revenge of the Sith Palpatine's Arrest set. I just think that's going to look so cool. Alright, how close is this? Is this too close? Or do you think this is decent enough? This looks like quite a good formation here. Oh, beheading them as we go. Let's not do that. Let's keep them in the same formation. What's it? 3 studs? 3 studs behind? Yeah. 3 studs behind each other. We'll get another 7 clone troopers on. And then we'll take a look at it. All complete with our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different eras of Star Wars. So we've got Old Republic, which is 25,000 years before the Battle of Yavin? Or is it before that? Is it even earlier? It's 25 years. 25,000 years. Is that... We need 2 more. Is that High Republic or is that Old Republic? Either way, we've got Old Republic, which is old. High Republic, meant to be high and mighty. Little do they know what's coming up. If only they got a teaser trailer. I don't think they'd be enjoying it too much. And then... Are these... No, the ones on the left of Anakin are spaced too far out. I thought he looked weird from the back. Whoa. Yeah, only after putting What, 11 of them down? Didn't look that weird, clearly. Clearly, if 11 of them were able to be put down. Oh, didn't mean to pop that off. All right. That's 12 down, 4 more to go. I feel the nose slipping off. Oh, wow, that slipped off quite a bit. Oh. 4, 3. Who else have we got? This guy's a black belt. Way too dangerous. He'd be soloing Grogu on his own. And then that's a good point. We could pick up the speeder to add on the outside, couldn't we? We could. But are we? No, probably not. Right, you don't want to go on. Where did my other nose go from earlier? There we go. Personally have Anakin in with a cape and hood. Yeah, he was all cloaked up. Let's see if... Oh, I've got a spare blaster. Let's see if I've got a hood. I've got a cape. Do we think Mando style? Mando style cape or like a proper Lego cape? Because Anakin's cape from memory is swooshed out, almost like the Batman and the Thor rubber capes on the floor, but we're going to want a bit of material. We don't have enough space for a rubber cape here. So do we want a Mando style cape, which is quite concise, more Vader? Or do we want an Anakin cape, which I think I'm going to deem this the Anakin cape, because wherever Anakin goes, he's got a proper Palpatine cape presence, like this cape. Let me see if I can find a hood. But you see how it flows out from the arms. I just feel like that's more Anakin. I don't know what it is, but it definitely feels more Anakin. Look at all these hoods I've got and these spare helmets. Got a whole drawer of them. Oh, look at that. I think I've got a dark brown as well, instead of a reddish brown. So, for anyone that missed the Qui-Gon drama about the misprinted head, this is the best element to show you the difference between the two colours. I don't know why. I just think this is either maybe 2x4 bricks would be better than it. But I think this is one of the best elements to show the difference between the two. And we're going to go with a dark brown over a reddish brown. Reddish brown's more Kenobi style. Dark brown is Anakin. So let's lose the Anakin wig. That's the official Lego name for it, the Anakin wig. And there we go. Is that looking a bit better? We'll have Anakin with his saber out, ready for action. This trooper's kind of bumping in. Let's lower his blaster perhaps. There we go. That's looking a bit better. And this is our centerpiece. So let's get these away. Anakin's wig can join the fellow figs. And all these other clone troopers can go back in the drawer. That sounded quite nice. I cannot wait. Cannot wait for another Clone Trooper battle pack. But first, I didn't realise I only have one of the last year's January 1st battle pack. I need to pick up some more of those. Maybe if I'm short on a gift with purchase, May 4th, we'll add a few of those to the cart. That's a good idea. But here we go. Might not be any stairs for the Clone Troopers to climb, but perfection. We have planned that to absolute perfection. And that's quite easy to slot in. The good thing with pressing it down on this Master Moldy mat, which is available and you can purchase on my Forfall shop. Master Moldy at forfallshop.com. I don't remember it. It should be on a product shelf just below this video if you're interested. It doesn't crush the sets, especially if you're building that new Malfoy Manor. It's just not gonna. You try crushing that's gonna fall apart. Gonna search a few small shops that sell Lego. Hopefully pick up the first release of the Darth Maul Infiltrator to try and get the reddish brown Qui-Gon figure. I do think it's the second release that you're looking for the reddish brown. I can't remember. I saw there's batch numbers. Maybe it's not the second release. Maybe it's not the first batch of the first release. There was something about the very first one, because anyone that ordered it straight away off Lego didn't get it. But if anyone, There was a little article as well. If you got yours in Walmart and Target over in the US, you wouldn't have got it in the first batch, but when they restocked in June, it went out of stock quite early in May, I think, or June. And then when it got restocked the second month later, Lego were just trying to keep up with demand, and that's what leads to some of these mistakes. But I think on Reddit, if you have a little look on Reddit, don't need to sign in. I don't have a Reddit account, can't deal with that. But if you have a look on Reddit, someone uploaded some, you know, these sets, not these sets, based on the batch code. So hopefully that would help. But definitely that set, the highest it sold on Bricklink was something like 300 quid. So the fact that those sets are going for so much is worth it for Qui-Gon. After finding mine in a magazine, which is now one of two as far as I'm concerned, Qui-Gon minifigures. Let me show you, for anyone that missed the video, my Qui-Gon has, this isn't a bent hair piece, this is a white stripe rogue style in Qui-Gon's hair piece, which is one of two in existence. So I set the price at £1,000. People can say whatever it's worth, and I tell you, that Qui-Gon for collectors and, you know, you and me that want a misprinted Qui-Gon minifigure, it's going to be worth more than £100, £200. That feeling of picking up a set you cannot buy. And after getting Qui-Gon, I now understand why. I've also seen there's a smooth hair Leia. I genuinely didn't know about that until I saw the comment. So that is, yeah, picking up a misprint. Can't take myself serious with this note. But that's the Jedi. Is that the Jedi Temple done after 3 hours? Granted, the Jedi Temple might not look perfect. I still feel like it's missing something here. And I'm not sure if it is just mix and matching a few bricks, because the Jedi Temple itself is quite smooth. And where's it go? There we go. I guess it's got the stripe down the middle. Maybe we can replace a brick and try and get a stripe down the middle. Would it be dark brown? Let's see if we can get dark brown pieces together. Let's put the nose there. Make sure the noses are on view. I like the size of the paper notes, actually, even if it is a bit more of an ornament. Yeah, a window. Ah, a window would also be good because of the council room. That's a good idea. What if we could get a window disguised by, I guess a window disguised by a stripe would still only, how big is this stripe meant to be? It is about a third of it, so we could get probably a 6 by something window, something like that, with a window, and then we can build a little skyline on it. That might be worth something, actually. And that also then gives us the detail of the brown on the outside. I'm not sure if we've actually got many brown pieces, probably enough brown pieces to do something like that. But we've also got a tub of Lego parts just back here, which straight away I've seen a brown element that we could use. So we could stick something like that on at an angle that would give us... All right, let's pop off this roof. I'm surprised at how well this roof pops off, considering the different plates and that we used for the last one. It didn't go too well. But let's break down again. 1x4s. Did we use anything but 1x4s on this build? And 1x3s. Yes, can't forget about those. 1x8 kind of counts as a 1x4. Let's pop this wall off a little bit. Oh, wait. Go on then, why not? And then I think that's good enough. Maybe just maybe. I was saying that we're gonna want the wall to end there, aren't we? So we need some bases for it. Let's get some of these panels to make it seem really thin, because we do have some step-like structure in the actual Jedi Temple. I think this is going to turn out really, really well. All right, we've got those locked in there. What are these? 1x4s, 1x1s. Still got a few of those kicking around. 2. Still got... Oh, no, this one's got a clip. Clip handy for Yoda's tool that he hides behind himself. Interesting take. Creating our own little cannon here and all. Some 1x4. Yeah, I would like a window running the whole length of this, and maybe even just rounding it off. But I think to enclose it a little bit, having a skyline behind Yoda, so we'll just get a few grey plates, and that's also something I can run through in this stream, creating a nice little skyline, because that's handy for creating a mixed perspective. On one side we've got, how high is this? Yeah, that's high enough. On one side we've got a nice little window, and on the other side we've got plates and tiles and oh, do we want it wholly on the outside? Holy, and do we want it to drop down? We could have it drop down. Do I have a longer brown 6x piece? Got reddish brown. I don't know if you heard that. That might have been a fox outside. That goes to show how late it is where I'm streaming. Just hit 10:15. Might not have been, and you might not have heard it, but I'm pretty sure that was a fox outside. Oh no, oh yeah, we can make that work. If it works. It might not work. This is going out on a little limb here. Oh. No, I think keeping the stripe, keeping the chunk, it's not even really a stripe, keeping the chunk to the top. But before we do what we're about to do, we need some more 1x bricks. We can't get away with using clips. Whoa! We very much could get away with using clips at the top, but I don't want to get away with using clips at the top. I just hope these 1x bricks don't fall off when the roof comes off. And then what we'll do to connect this bracket, this drawer can probably go back now. I don't think we'll be needing anymore. What we can do is grab some tan brackets, some brown brackets. Let's go with tan. Match the connection at the floor. We don't want to put these brackets in, which way does that go? So we don't want to put these brackets how they usually would go, because the brackets actually stick out by 0.2 of a plate. They stick out. So what we're going to do is flip them. So the brackets are actually sticking to the roof like that. And then what that does is creates a window that is not only nice and flush with the rest of it, but also drops down just a little bit to make sure we're covering all of this hand side. Why is this not playing fair? What's going on here? Is it just getting caught? Yeah, it's just getting caught in these walls. Maybe we ain't pushed them down enough. We want to leave the bottom and the top completely free, but the rest of that, comes off with it. The rest of that is free to decorate as we would like. So let's grab, I think a lot of these round 1x2s are going to be good. Maybe even a few of these frying pan studs. Frying pan studs, didn't show you earlier, these studs with the bars coming off the side, and then round 1x2s are the round 1x2s. So we just want to build a little skyline. We'll have a few really tall buildings. We don't mind them coming in and out. And just build. Oh wait, that's going to be upside down. That's not a skyline. That's a lollipop. All right, here we go. Round 2. Make sure you're building it the right way around. We'll have another little building and maybe a longer building as well. There we go. And then we can have maybe a really tall, skinny building on the side. It towers up to how high that is. A small building down by the side. They want a nice view from at least one angle. And then how do we finish off? We could include some different slopes and stuff here. Or what we can do is include... I don't think that works too well. Maybe we just add these flipped. Don't know how I'm feeling about that skyline. And then we can add one in the middle. Does it fit? No. Maybe we can add a bit of depth to it. There we go. We've got this nice little Coruscant skyline. I don't think all these buildings should be as tall as they are. Maybe. Oh, look. By flipping it, we can add a little point to the center. And maybe that... No, we don't want that pointing up. Maybe by getting rid of these, we can have it point up. So there we go. Frying pan in the middle there. And then 2 frying pans point into the center frying pan. And we've got another building standing up in the middle. Do we want a kind of tall building on the other side? We could have a kind of tall building. Either way, I'll probably play around with that a little bit before getting around to record the video. And we just want to squeeze this in, make sure they're all secure, all nice and secure. I think the roofs, oh no, there we go. Perfect. Now we've got, yes, that's what we were missing. I think that's what we're missing. And also on the inside, we've got one less clone trooper. No, don't die. You're needed. You're not needed. You are kind of needed. Should we be egging on the attack on the Jedi Temple? I don't know. That doesn't feel right. Alright, there we go. What would have been really cool is on the new Battlefront games, the newer one, the 2017 one, if we could reenact the march on the Jedi Temple. Bit like they did with the first Battlefront 2. But there we go. Let's get rid of these bricks. Don't need these. Don't need these panels. And I've said this non-stop for the last half an hour. I think we might be done with the Jedi Temple. We've got the window just in the top. Look, behind Yoda and Ki-Adi-Mundi, you can kind of see it. There'll be better images when I make a video on this. And I'm definitely going to be adding an LED saber to Anakin in the front row there. That's going to look awesome. But the way we were able to build this using mostly... Alright, this piece wasn't with Mos Eisley. That should be great. A few of the tiles might... Probably a lot of the tiles should probably be plates rather than tiles, and these pillars on top should be square, not round. But the actual body of the temple was built using only pieces from Mos Eisley Cantina. Okay, this middle floor here, this middle floor used other pieces, but you could probably scrounge together some of the other tiles, some of the other plates even, and create some sort of second floor for this temple. So the fact that most of this is built using Mos Eisley Cantina is kind of mind-blowing, especially with all the little details we could fit in. These figures aren't the ones that come with it. But taking a look at the figures, we've got 12 troopers, Anakin, Kenobi, Qui-Gon, 4 Jedi Masters, that's 22, 4 High Republic characters, which is 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. That's 30 minifigures. That's 75% of what's going to be included in the Death Star. The difference is this is built using... we used a load of bricks, so I'm going to say half of the pieces from a £300 set. That's about £150 worth of... yeah, okay. We didn't get 30 minifigures in the set. I think we got about 25 in the cantina. But this is 75%, and we've included a lot of clone troopers. I'm expecting to get about this much of stormtroopers in the Death Star. If I'm being honest, we'll probably get about 10 of them. But there's only 10 more minifigures. If we could have built up this one more layer, included a Palpatine, included a Kylo Ren. I did want to get a Kylo Ren in here. Maybe we'll add a little Kylo Ren in the back here. You know what? Palpatine. Let's grab a Palpatine. Let's get rid of the neck accessory. We've got Palpatine. Where's Kylo? Let's add a Kylo Ren. Should Kylo have Mace's saber? No, I think I think it's implied. So adding, let's go around the back, add in a Kylo Ren minifigure just in the back here. Maybe Kylo can, oh, Kylo can't be that close. All right, Kylo Ren minifigure for Rise of Skywalker. Adding a Palpatine just here behind Yoda. I mean, random senator from the High Republic that so happens to share the exact likeness with Palpatine. Palpatine's always been there plotting. Maybe Palpatine was there. That's awesome. I didn't even... Bang. We've got access to these two rooms. Popping it on. Come on, come on. Don't mess around now. You were so smooth as I'm going to go. Oh, no, what? Oh, I had it at the wrong angle. Can't line up. Maybe I need a little filter funnel to get this in, but it did seem to look away and it does it. Anyway, open this wall. It's so smooth when I'm not trying, and then I try and it doesn't work. Anyway, open this room and we've got access to these two rooms. I'll close the wall up just like that. This might be one of my favorite mocks I've ever made. I might have to make instructions for this. I might want to rebuild this in 10 years time and compare it to the first UCS Lego Jedi Temple in 2035. If that comes true, I said it here first on the channel, someone clipped that. And I think this turned out really good. Expect a video on this over the next couple of days. It might be next... You know what? I will try and get it out Monday for you all. So keep an eye out Monday. We might get a video on this. I might even record it tomorrow, to be fair. But until then, that has been all for this stream. Comparing this to the Tennu Temple. I know which one I'd rather get. Just based on, you know, one's Coruscant Temple, one's Tennu Temple. I shouldn't build Tennu Temple. I want to build Tennu Temple, but I shouldn't. I think that is all. That is my Jedi Temple fixation for the next couple of months. Wow, that looks good. That's earned a spot on the back. That city out of there. Keep an eye out for the video if that city's gone, because if it hasn't, it might be afterwards. But that is all for today's stream, not video. I hope you enjoyed. If you do, don't forget Red Nose Day. You don't have to donate, but definitely check it out. Raise awareness, especially if you're not here in the UK. Can I double up on noses? Okay, and that is all for today's stream. We built a Jedi Temple that Lego haven't, using Mos Eisley. I don't know how we did it. 3.5 hours later, I definitely thought we'd need to continue this at the start of tomorrow's stream. Tomorrow we'll be playing games. Battlefront 2. Don't miss out, because we have so many leaks to talk about, and hopefully I won't lose track whilst we're fighting off the separatist armies. Because, you know, I love the rollies, the droidicas are really cool. We call them rollies because all they do is roll, but we do want to be clones. Stay tuned for that. Hopefully all goes well. And I hope you enjoy the rest of the day or the rest of the night, wherever you are, whatever time zone it is. Let me just check before we go that there haven't been any new rumors, releases, leaks, or any sort of speculation over on the Reddit. A load of discussions about the slave one, doesn't seem to be anything new. So we will be leaving it there. Thank you so much for joining me today and building the Jedi Temple. You were here when it was built. Comment that on the video if you were here. Until then, may the bricks be with you always.